Heyo! Oh,
Hi, everyone.
that starting soon music is way too loud. There we go. I had it way too loud. I don't know why. The audio carried over, I think. Oh, but we are here, and it is tier list time.
Can't believe it's the end of another year. Like,
Oh,
oh my
God,
god.
I feel old.
Yeah.
Uh,
Normal Christmas time, and I'm like going through everything I played in the year, and I'm just like, oh, simultaneously, I played so much, and also I played so little of what I was actually going to like get around to play.
nah, I forgot what I was gonna say. I'm stupid. Oh, yeah. Just let us know if there's any audio balancing issues. All the games are too low. Nothing's on the tier list yet.
That's a good point. They're all worse than F.
Oh, shut up. We decided in the starting soon screen that I will go first. Uh, okay, thank you, Daytops.
What are we doing here? What is this list of random games?
Oh yes, so these are the games that I've beaten in 2025, or played enough of that I want to rank them anyway. And
This
I'm
was an
ranking,
important distinction.
yeah, and I'm ranking them based on how I enjoyed them. So that's the goal of it. It's a rating of how I enjoyed it, the games themselves. So games that might be objectively better might get scored lower just because I didn't enjoy them as much as other games.
I mean, that makes sense. Like,
Portal
you
F
know,
tier
it's your
then.
tier, it's your tier list, not the objective tier list.
True. Also, I am stupid because the tier lists are in front of chat. Let me fix that.
Oh yeah, they kind of are, aren't they? Whoops.
Do that, do that. And now this should work. Yay! Now Twitch chat is viewable. I've put in way more than 5 hours now. I'm at least like 12 hours. Whereas Expedition 33, I didn't play Expedition 33. Oh God.
We should have made like a game of the year tier and just like preemptively put Expedition 33 in it. That
Okay.
was so funny. Like, I also haven't played Expedition 33 yet. I'm somewhat waiting on till I get better hardware because I can probably run it on my Steam Deck, but I don't know how well it would run.
Yeah.
But just everything I've heard about it is like it deserved pretty much every one of those awards.
Oh gosh. You can see the chat too, right?
Yeah. My tech is outdated. I thought it wouldn't be a problem, but it is becoming more increasingly a problem increasingly quickly. Which, you know, I picked a great time to need a hardware refresh, didn't I?
Yeah, RAM.
Ugh.
Oh gosh. Okay. I might talk about some of the games for a little bit. I think how I might do mine is I might like power through like four or five at a time and then like talk back through them a little.
That makes sense.
So that way it's not like just constant yapping about the game. It's like we talk about five games, we might have a sidetrack here and there. First
It's
game.
interesting because
Yeah.
most of these I've seen because you streamed them on
I
your
streamed a lot
Twitch.
of these games, or I streamed them to Discord VCs that you were in.
That's true.
Like good old Light Eat. That was a great game. Okay. Monster Ranch Advance. Uh that game
Oh, it's
was a
Monster Ranch.
that game was a ride. I hated it. No, sorry. I sort of liked it early on. I hated it after a little while, and then I liked it more towards the end as I grew to appreciate the battle system and its intricacies. Honestly, for what they had to work with, they did a very solid effort. But I probably have to put it C tier.
It's very much a game that I think would work better if you're like 10 and you have so much free time to play a game, but especially like as you're trying to get through a whole backlog.
Mm.
Like, I could see the moment where you were just like, I just need this to be done.
Yeah. The very last attempt, I was like, I want to save state this to win. I don't want to go through another monster cycle. Oh gosh. Okay. Anton Blast, you're going to be a bit sad about this one. I'm putting it in B tier. I was let down a little bit by Anton Blast. I was expecting it to sort of have the puzzles and intricacies that Wario Land 4 had. And while it definitely had the manicness and craziness of Wario Land 4, it wasn't it lacked that puzzle solving and exploration kick I was also looking for. And
I
so
totally agree with that.
the screen shaking actually made me feel a bit sick even after I turned it down. It was
I
just like too much
definitely
going on the screen.
I definitely rate Anton Blast a bit higher, mostly because I think those are less of an issue for me.
Mhm.
But I 100% agree. Like Wario Land 4 already is like a bit more actiony than the other Wario Land games, and I think it's it taking those actiony parts and sort of running with them to levels of insanity worked very well for it. But it's definitely like it gets stuck in this sort of comparison with Wario Land 4, and especially because did you play that? Is Wario Land 4 last year or this year for you? It
Wario
was
Land
last year,
4
right?
last year, but I've played it so much as a kid.
Yeah, of course. And it's just like, yeah, it's just still kind of feels a bit in its shadow.
Mm. Also, yeah, you didn't add Wario Land to your tier list, but you also didn't really play that much of it. You like got into the Emerald Passage a little bit.
And that's like a 4 hour game. So like if you haven't played that much of it, you've played like what, like 10 minutes? I don't remember where Emerald Passage is.
it's it's like the second area. You're more than 10 minutes in. You're maybe around 40 minutes into the game. 40 minutes to an
Okay,
hour.
okay, okay. Maybe it might be.
Um, the next game, Portal. I is going to be so contentious with this, but I will justify why I did not like this game as much as Monster Rancher. Um, so
Go on then.
for reference, I picked up Portal 2, Portal, and I was pretty excited to give it a try. Everyone had spoken really positively about it, and it's a really good puzzle game. I really enjoyed it a lot. And this is just a personal thing, which is unfortunate, but I got motion sick playing it constantly, like really
Oh,
badly motion sick. It was like a 2 to 3 hour game, but I had to split it across 4 sessions because I actually felt nauseous playing the game. Like I got that disoriented playing it, I just couldn't play much of it. I was actually having detox gaming sessions of 30 to 40 minutes, and that was it.
I think it's a testament to the quality of Portal that this is a game that you had to physically force yourself to play because it physically made you ill and it still is C tier.
Yeah, like I won't be playing Portal 2, and I feel a bit bad about that because it is apparently great as well, even better, but I know I'm going to feel sick again.
That's completely, yeah, that's completely fair. It's the same sort of, it's the exact same engine, I think. Definitely the same sort of vibe. Like if Portal's making you nauseous, Portal 2 almost certainly will as well.
Yeah. Portal 2 is less motiony from memory. Eh,
Okay.
maybe. I mean, I might give it a try at some point, but it'd have to be much later on. Um, Next game, Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. Okay, okay. This is really hard for me to do, and I may reassess this later, but right now I'm putting it at the top of A tier. And it is because I know there are some games later on that are going to be S tier and above it, which is really hard to say because I loved this game. I loved the turn-based mechanics. It was so great to go back and see what the first Mario and Luigi game was like after playing Dream Team Bros. And honestly, it was just Dream Team Bros. And leveling up system's great. It feels really balanced constantly. Abilities are introduced to you slowly over time. And it doesn't feel like I'm overwhelmed at any point in the game. And it always felt like there were options to beat a boss. The bros attacks were cool, a bit tricky to execute at times as you got more and more of them, but that's to be expected that the later ones would be harder to pull off successfully. and the story was incredible as well. Without too many spoilers, um, it did a certain Mario trope very well, in my opinion, compared to a lot of other Mario games, cough cough color splash, that does the trope really terribly.
One thing that I'll say about Superstar Saga is I think it is incredibly impressive that it is as charming and as appealing and as Mario as it is, with very little actual Mario. Like, there's a lot of Mario content in it, but it's usually like sectioned off into areas. Like, you've got the Bowser Castle area, you've got like fighter flyers show up, but a lot of it's just completely new characters, completely new enemies, completely new locations, and yet it feels just so Mario. And especially when it's like the games that the Mario RPGs that have come beforehand, like Super Mario RPG and Paper Mario, less so Paper Mario, but even still,
They didn't feel
very heavily Mario-esque and like very steeped in Mario characters and the like the Mushroom Kingdom world.
yeah. No, I
That's a
agree.
phenomenal game.
Hey, Michaela. you no, you didn't actually join that late. I mean, we're only 4 games. We're only 4 games in. Uh, Harlem Globetrotters World Tour. That was a game to play after Superstar Saga. Yeah, sorry, I realized that we sort of devolved into one game at a time.
Well, okay, but like it's 4 games with a lot of shit to say. Like,
Yeah. I will power through after this one. I'll do the next 5 like in quick succession and then talk about them one at a time. Harlem Globetrotters D tier. Sort of obvious. It is a poor quality sports game. It is a better sports game than other sports games I've played on the GBA, but it is fairly mediocre still. The controls are simplistic. There's not much to it. I don't think there's much to say. No, I know, but I wanted to do it that way, so I'm going to do it that way. So, I've got to remember which is which. This is why I also put the games in order of play, so I remembered which of these Shaman King games was first. Um,
so that
so
was the RPG one.
no, this is the Pokemon one.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to put them in place now. Uh,
Is that Rune Factory?
yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a fifth one. Uh, honestly, there. No, there. No, there. Okay. So to talk about these 5 games, Shaman King, Master of Soaring Hawk, and whatever Shining Eagle, Pokemon style game, and it wasn't bad. It tried to tell a little bit of the Shaman King story, but it ran into what I think happens with a lot of anime games that are made when the anime is coming out, in that it caught up to the anime too quickly. And instead of reading the manga and continuing the story and spoiling it, they just made a whole new section at the end of the game to sort of conclude the story and set up for a sequel, which I sort of liked. I didn't mind the story of the game. The battling system was yikes, though, considering that Pokemon Gen 1 was on the original Game Boy, and this had worse battling and Pokemon mechanics than that.
Yeah.
Gameplay wise, it wasn't great at all, but it's well above the slop that is below it.
I
And
can't believe that there are like 20 Shaman King games released in like a 5-year period, and also you got 2 of them within like the same role.
hey, what? Some of them are really good. The other one's so good. What was next after Shaman King? Then it was
All-Star Baseball.
baseball. Yeah, no, there's no explanation for this. I played 40 minutes of it. I couldn't even successfully hit the ball once, even after 15 to 20 minutes in the practice area. The game crashed, and I was just done.
That was torture. That was torturous.
In fact, the worst part was that Townsend and others were like really excited to see it, and then it was that garbage. I didn't want to play more of it.
Look, I'm glad you didn't force yourself because it means that, but the concept of baseball is still salvageable. You don't have too many bad memories associated with the sport of baseball. Maybe we can find another baseball game that's less terrible.
I doubt it. Then next was I. Okay, no, I'm going to go back to one at a time because I forgot what order these are in.
I'm pretty sure it was near Rune Factory Super Circuit.
Okay, near S tier for obvious reasons. It's an incredible game. It tells such an amazing story of a post-apocalyptic world. The twists were, even though they were a little bit expected at times, they presented them with so much heart and emotion that it sold me still on the game. Because it wasn't meant to surprise you too much. It was meant to captivate you. It was meant to engage you. The gameplay is fluid. It's beautiful action hack and slash mechanics, which I love as a Kingdom Hearts fan. And despite a lot of playthroughs I've seen since where people will just like zip past the enemies once they're pretty strong, I did the typical I love this combat so much and fought everything in my sight. It it hooked me. The equipment mechanics are cool as well, and it was nice that you didn't have to go too deep into them to be able to build a really solid build. Yeah, and it art-wise, it is incredibly beautiful and stunning to look at. The one downside with this is that it is a really shit stream game because it is for people who know A Hat in Time, it is a bitrate killer like Hat is. And oh my god, for reference, when I started playing Nier, it was also when I started multi-streaming to YouTube as well. And I saw my Twitch streams and I was like, what the hell is this garbage? I was like, this does not look at all like what I'm playing. Why can't it capture it well? And then I found out online it was a bitrate killer, which makes sense given its detail and stunning, beautiful surroundings.
Shame.
Uh, for reference, my YouTube playthrough is like, I think I set it to 20,000 bit rates, and it still just looks mediocre. It doesn't at all capture the beauty of the game, which is wild to think of, because for reference, Twitch caps you at 6,000. So I was uploading at triple the maximum bitrate that Twitch would allow, and it still was just looking alright.
It's wild.
Ah. So look
But
at
hey, this isn't about how good a game it is to stream.
no,
This is
I know,
about how
I
good a
know.
game it is to play.
So like
When it is to play,
no, I
wow.
know. If anything, that's an aside so people don't judge the game off like video clips of the game. Like so they don't go, "Oh, this doesn't look that stunning. It doesn't look that nice. It looks dated." And it's like it's not. It's just you can't capture it well on recording software. But like look at some stills of the game. Look at some images, some photos. That would capture it much better, I reckon. Ah,
Or
okay.
play it yourself.
Yeah.
It's S tier for a reason.
I've recommended it to so many people at this point.
It is one of those ones that's been on my backlog for years now.
Play
I get
it.
around to playing it. I have no
Play
excuse.
it.
I literally own the game.
Play it. Put it in your 2026 list.
I can't just make my entire 2026 list stuff that you want me to play because then there'll be too many games for me to play and I won't be able to finish any of them.
Okay,
I'll consider it.
good. I already bought the game for Ticker, so Ticker's gonna play it at some point.
Let's go.
Uh, Next game was Rune Factory 3. She can't wait to C tier this in. Bro, I'm gonna be pissed. Rune Factory 3. It was the Switch version. I will give the context as to how I got this game. I was walking into JB one day to pick up a cable for like my PC, and I just walked through the Switch section and I saw big sale. This game is only $20, and I went, "Oh, what's this game? I think I've heard Musa mention it in the past. Let me look at it." Let me look it up on Google. Ooh, 8.5, 9 out of 10. It must be pretty good. Let me give it a try. And I then proceeded to sink like 40 hours into the game within a week, in- including a wonderful final push to complete the game, which was 8 hours, and I finished at 4 a.m. on a day that I had work the next morning. Oh, it was such a bad idea, but I thought I was about to finish, and
That's how they get you.
I know. Musa told me that the next day. He was like, you fell for the trap. It was a Rune Factory game. It's a JRPG. You should be aware of this by now. It doesn't just end, it drags on the final chapter. You get a huge final dungeon. You get multi phase boss fights. And they were all great, but the one unfortunate thing is that I played it a lot like a JRPG, which meant that the farming simulator and like Stardew Valley esque aspects of the game was sort of a bit lost on me. And
Mm.
I sort of, I think it's an incredibly hard balance to strike, but I didn't feel that engaged to do the farming or the crafting or the other like side Stardew Valley esque stuff. Whereas in Stardew Valley itself, I felt there was a much better balance of the two. I felt compelled to go down into the mines, but also raise my crops. Whereas with Rune Factory, I could just go grind the JRPG sections. And that was the end for the game as well.
Yeah, I suppose it's like because was there any like farming part of the ending, or was it just the dungeon?
It was just that I had to bring specific crops at certain points,
Okay.
but that also just felt not fun at that point because it was like out of season for three of them because you had to get like one from each season, and it was like,
So if you don't have them already, you gotta like wait.
or go to the past dungeons that have little plots of farmland in them that you can use to
That's
grow
cool.
the season relevant crops. So it was like I'm grinding through the final dungeon, and then it's like, oh, I need a cabbage. Well, time to backtrack to the previous dungeon, go deep into that dungeon, and find the little plot of farmland so I can grow a cabbage. It's like it broke the pace. Like they tried to put it in there and good on them, but that wasn't encouraging me to engage with the farming mechanics. It was
Yeah.
forcing me to just go and briefly do it for an item. Which is why I probably have to put it in B tier. I would have loved something to garbage. I would have liked it
That would
to
be if it
engage
was in
more.
C tier, right? C for garbage.
Yeah,
This is B for garbage.
it's B for Bapple. And then finally Super Circuit. Game that I didn't like at all starting out, but sort of grew on me as I got to the last cups at the end of the game, and Rainbow Road. And then shortly after I actually beat it on stream for GBA Apocalypse, I found the game in a secondhand seller, got it, replayed it on actual hardware, and because I had familiarity with the game and how the cars drive, I actually found it a lot more enjoyable, which is why it probably ranks a bit higher than people would have expected from watching my streams on it.
Yeah, I was a bit shocked, but that makes sense. It's similar. It's another game that I think works better if you're not trying to like marathon it as part of a backlog collection thing.
Mm.
I'm usually pretty down on Super Circuit, but I think especially for like effectively a launch GBA game, like it is pretty impressive what it does.
My dry, for reference, we are slightly late because I had to put on washing and the drying is just done. So I'm just going to briefly double check and either put on the dryer for 30 more minutes or turn it off.
Lovely. We can wait. Wait in suspense to as where do we think Lilith's going, everyone? He claims he streamed Lilith to me. I'm pretty sure he did. I'm pretty sure he must have streamed it to someone else because I do not remember him playing it. I remember him talking about playing it. Probably see, yeah. I'd say he seemed pretty high on it.
Yay, I'm back. Hello. That was quick because the dryer was just out there. I checked it, things were dry.
Yeah, mic's off.
Damn it. No, I realized what I did. Hello.
Hi, your mic's on.
Funny thing, my mic was on for Twitch and YouTube. So
just wasn't on for this.
Yeah, because I used the same hotkey, but for some reason when I muted it on OBS, it didn't mute it on Discord. And then when I got back and unmuted it on the OBS, it did then. Hello, DG Vesta, how you going? Wait, so what? Probably C.
We were trying to predict where you're going to put Lily.
Oh,
That can be.
that's actually a hard one. I'm gonna go back to the one by one. So Light it Detops can attest to when I bought this game because he was in VC with me when I bought this game. I was explaining to him how based it is to have a friend with like 1,000 games in their Steam wish lists. And I was going through your wish list, Aura, just scrolling through, and then Detops saw Lai and went, "Ew, what the fuck's that? That looks horrible." And then I hovered over it and I clicked and I went, "Oh, wait, dragon? Like there's some dragon mythology? It's sort of like a puzzle mystery game. This seems interesting. How much is it? $1? Oh, I'm getting that. Yeah, $1.80 right now. Makes sense." And
That's and we're not even in the Steam sale yet.
Yeah.
It's like tomorrow.
You need to get Light. Okay, yeah. So I enjoyed Light. I really enjoyed the story aspects of it. It had a very simplistic turn-based RPG combat, but it was sort of fun. Hello, SOB. It was actually sort of fun. I enjoyed it. The story was compelling. There was nice build-up of characters, and there was good character growth from the main character and their companion, who you control. And the only thing I'm a little bit sad at was the length of it, but it also makes sense because this was just a random guy making a simple game in RPG Maker. They weren't like trying to make something huge and expansive, but the sad thing about it was that I think I said to Aura after I beat the game, I was in VC with you, and I'm like, oh man, who's the dev of this? Like, I can tell this feels like a very first game sort of thing. I'd love to see what they've sort of worked on since. Because if this was like game one for them, oh my god, I'm so excited to see like when they put in effort and made like a full big game in its own right. And
Yeah, about that.
alas, yeah, alas, this was their big series. They didn't do much before or after. Momodora series.
Yes, yeah, plays them, right?
I actually don't know.
They do a lot of
Oh,
I say Japanese adjacent games because I think Momodora is a Western dev.
but it's not the same dev, is it? It's just the publisher.
No, no, it's publisher. It's like a Devolver deal where I don't know if they have any internal teams, but they publish a lot of.
Ooh, this looks cool. I'm reading the
Oh, Momodora is
Wikipedia
incredible.
article.
Reverie Under the Moonlight's a fantastic little Metroidvania.
Oh, I
I
didn't even read that one. I
have.
was reading Momodora 1 and 2.
Oh yes, yes. I mean, it's a whole lot series.
Oh, heck yes.
Reverie's the fourth one.
Yeah, it looked like
and then
the
there's
fourth.
another one, as well as they did another game in between Reverie and Moonlit Farewell.
I should probably place this above Super Circuit, but below Anton Blast.
Got it in one.
Did you predict the exact spot?
No, I just predicted it'd be B tier.
I wish the dev I wish the dev had like done more after this. It would have been a really cool game if they'd made more with the sort of heart and inspiration they did with this, but on a larger scale.
Alas.
Lizzie McGuire.
Oh god.
Now, that was I enjoyed the Lizzie McGuire minigame. It was basically a minigame collection. You move around, you get some collectibles, you avoid enemies, you spray perfume in the faces of anybody that's in your way. And it was sort of fun going through the levels, but then it sort of just loops endlessly, and which is fine too. But I don't know. It's just a minigame collection. There isn't really much to it.
You know the phrase, this could have been an email?
Hmm.
Lizzie McGuire feels like this could have been a Flash browser game.
Yeah. And crazily enough, yeah, I was originally going to put it like bottom of C tier, but I think I probably agree with Ticker. It's D tier above Harlem Globetrotters.
You did look less in pain than when you played Globetrotters.
Oh, a lot less in pain. But also, I probably shouldn't put it on the same level as the games that actually had some story and like proper enjoyment to them. Like Monster Rancher had a whole ass like fusion system and everything. There was a lot of depth to Monster Rancher.
Monster Rancher had epic highs and lows.
That stupid dragon. Okay. It Takes Two, which I played with Ticker SR, who's in the Twitch chat at the moment. This game, it's great. I can see why it got all the incredible accolades that it did, but I don't know. So you want to put it in S tier, but it was good, but I don't know if I loved it that much. It's a like if I'm thinking of S tier is like I want to recommend this to everybody. That's how much I enjoyed the game. It Takes Two was fun. It was a great experience, but I didn't quite get that like wow factor that I would need to put something in S tier. Did I enjoy it more than Superstar Saga? Honestly, no. I don't know what it was about It Takes Two. Maybe it was the length or the fact that it was wow. Or or maybe it was just that the platforming and puzzle sections weren't that difficult. But I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing because the story it told was quite interesting and compelling. The humor was great, and I do love how early on, when Cody and May are quite combative, there is a lot of friendly fire components to the gameplay. But later on, it just doesn't let you hit each other. And yes, the elephant deserved to suffer. It was very entertaining. I got a lot of enjoyment out of that section.
I mean, your A tier is also like a very stacked A tier.
Yeah.
Like your A tier, like your A tier, currently your A tier is two all timers.
It's
like just two all timers a step down from Nier Automata.
Yeah. Well, there's going to be more games up there soon.
Such as?
I can already tell. I already see two. I already see two others that are going in S tier.
Such as Shaman King, Master of Spirits.
No, though I I will piss off some people with this. I'm putting it in A tier just below It Takes Two. So
You really liked this one.
I really loved this one. It's a Metroidvania, and the combat is so enjoyable. It feels so nice. You can customize how you attack as well. It felt it it felt exactly how I would expect the Castlevanias from that era to feel.
I mean, it's
Which,
literally made by Konami.
well, yeah,
Like, it's made by the Castlevania guys.
it's like with the other Shaman King game that was intending to be a Pokemon ripoff, it felt absurdly inferior to the Pokemon product, even at its beginnings. Whereas Shaman King Master of Spirits felt like it was on the same level as other classics from that same time period. And and I don't know how the Metroidvania has necessarily changed since, because I'm still a bit of a baby in the Metroidvania genre. But while Hollow Knight and Silksong are considered incredible leaders of the genre, this game was closer to them than I was expecting. I was expecting something nowhere near comparable to those games, but I actually enjoyed I enjoyed it a fair bit more than I was ever expecting to. It scratched the same itch as Hollow Knight did for me.
I think there's something to be said too about getting an assignment for a licensed property that presumably is less of a priority for the company compared to, say, the Castlevania stuff they're pumping out at the same time, but to still approach it with a level of polish that is similar to the other stuff that you're putting out, and sort of not putting in a half effort just because it's a licensed game, and you see that happen a lot. We've seen it happen a lot with GB Apocalypse, and this is just one where they didn't half-heart it.
It's ironic considering the next game on the list, which did sort of
Ooh,
half-ass it.
great segue.
Above the other Shaman King game, but nowhere near Portal. Like there is a very clear distinction between Monster Rancher Advance and Portal versus Wings Club and the other Shaman King game.
For those who've come in late, keep in mind that the Portal is the barrier of a game that made him physically ill to play. Everything below Portal is worse than an incredible game that made him physically ill to play.
Whereas Wings Club is probably a terrible game that I had way too much fun playing. Secret shame of mine when I was a kid was that I did like Wings Club, and growing up, our family had two TV rooms, like a front living room and a back living room. Wings Club would be on Boomerang every night from like 6 to 7:30, and I would just go out into the back room on my own while family is in the other room watching like MasterChef or something, and I just watch Wings Club.
Oh yeah.
And then
I've never seen an episode of Wings Club in my life, but it looks pretty neat.
it's all right. Like, I think I've watched a few episodes again as an adult, and I was like, yeah, this is more mid than I remembered. But there is that nostalgia a little bit to it. And it was cool playing through like the first season of the story and seeing them incorporate it into like a sort of, I don't even know how to explain it. It's an isometric game, but it's definitely got solid action combat components to it.
It's like an action RPG, I guess. Like a Zelda action RPG kind of vibe, not how we'd use it in the modern day, I guess.
Yeah. Also, I know you won't hear it, Aura, but my mic's not cutting out a little bit when I'm speaking, is it, chat? Because I know I've got my filters set up in a specific way on stream, and I know I've become a lot shyer with talking in the last year or so. So I think that filter works against me a little bit now sometimes. Okay. The awkward silence.
Hey, hey, that's no news is good news, you know?
No news could also mean that I've been copyright struck for all this music I'm playing in the background. Okay, what was next? Mario Kart
Mario
World.
Kart.
Oh no. I put
Better or
myself
worse than Mario Kart Super Circuit? You've got two Mario Karts here.
Yeah, I put myself in a very awkward position here because what a letdown of a game. All you had to do was realistically rebuild the core elements of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, add your new mechanics, your new driving between the like different courses as a gimmick that people could do if they wanted to, and the rail grinding and the wall climbing and all that cool stuff, and then just call it a day. Package it up and sell it, and they could have just walked away with that and made millions and had a game that lasted like 10 years, like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Instead, they've sort of done what they did with Mario Kart 7 and screwed the pooch on a product that they were crutching it in. And they went, hey, we've added this cool new feature, driving between tracks. You can explore the world. We don't want to give you the choice to engage with this or not. We are making you engage with it. And
It's a very Nintendo thing to do where they're so proud of their gimmick that they make the entire game revolve around the gimmick, whether or not they don't really. I think they do that over considering whether or not the player is inherently interested in said gimmick.
and it's just killed the online play. Like, I don't play Mario Kart World Online, but when Mario Kart 8 Deluxe came out, I put in 200 hours of online play, you know? And heck, even leading up into World, I went back and played more online and loved it. I played it on stream. I grinded some matches online when we were doing a tournament at work on it. I always enjoy playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, especially the online matches. But I don't enjoy Mario Kart World Online at all because you're just always forced to play an intermission track. And as someone who likes front running and likes the competitive traditional Mario Kart experience, I hate playing in an online sphere where 95% of the tracks chosen are just so bagger oriented because that's what the intermission tracks are. They're bagger, like they're a bagger's best dream. A bunch of straight sections with huge grass on the side that you can mushroom across and overtake everybody. It's just not fun in an online play experience.
So I will say about Mario Kart World,
Mhm.
I think that the single player is incredible. I think that the open world, like the free roam mode, is really fun. And they've got a bunch of neat challenges and a bunch of sort of ways to play around and explore the courses in ways that I wish I could have done with tracks in previous games. It sort of feels like a dream come true situation there.
Hmm.
However, I really like the classic Mario Kart formula. I think that it is so good and so oft imitated but rarely beaten. And I don't think it's inherently a bad thing that they tried to mix it up, but I just would like it to be easier to be able to do 3 laps on the courses.
Yeah.
and it's just so oriented around a format that I don't like playing.
Yeah.
And that just killed my interest in sinking a lot of time into it. It's one that I definitely see myself going back to, especially over the holidays. And sort of, I didn't take it down with me when I went back home last time, but I'm planning on doing so this time and sort of show it to the family and stuff. And we'll see how I feel about it then. But as it stands now, it's an incredibly well made game that has made some intentional design decisions that I don't like.
Same, honestly.
Also, like one of the best soundtracks of the year.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that soundtrack is incredible.
They killed it. They killed it with all those remixes and medleys. They did so well with it. I'm so
Please release the
disappointed.
soundtrack. I don't care if it costs like $400.
No, don't say that. They'll
probably
do
buy
it.
It's like 20 albums in one. Like, it's gonna be. It's got to. If they do release it and it's not like a selection, it's gonna be pricey.
I also people might have missed that. I've slotted below Winx Club, but above the Shaman King Pokemon ripoff. I had more fun playing. I've had it. I would replay Winx Club, but Mario Kart World, I'd pull it out as a party game, and that's about it. Which is a shame for the for like the launch title. Yeah, ranked lower than the game that gives you
Mario
motion.
Kart Super Circuit is also really funny to me.
That's also true. What Tuka said, worse than the game that gave me motion sickness. It's just such a disappointment. Like, this is the thing. Detops talks about Portal 2, and I'm not disinterested in the idea of giving it a shot despite the motion sickness. Mario Kart World, I don't want to play.
It's all right. They're going to come out with Funky Kong next year, and then I'll be like, oh, all right, fine.
Just do an online play where I don't have to do intermissions, and I'll enjoy it.
Yeah, I have heard that it's better now, but it's still, yeah. They really needed to, especially as the launch title for the Switch 2, they really needed to nail that at the start. And they kind of didn't.
Okay. I'm going to hit up the Delta.
So how's Deltarune?
I'm going to hit up the Deltarunes very quickly because, very funnily enough, I bought both of those games, World and Deltarune, at the same time, and
it's almost like they launched on the same day or something.
They did. They both launched on the Switch 2's launch day, and then I put some time into Mario Kart World and then put it down, and then Deltarune I didn't want to put down. It was incredible from start to finish. Let me place the chapters as best I can. They're going to be fairly high up compared to the last chunk of games. I've split into different chapters because I have different thoughts on each chapter.
Yeah, that's fair. Especially like chapter 1 and chapter 2 do kind of feel like standalone games to me, just of how far apart they were.
Chapter 1 at the top of B tier. Chapter 2 just below Superstar Saga. Chapter 3 just on the other side of Rune Factory. And then chapter 4 just above chapter 2. Above chapter 2.
Just below chapter 2.
No, above it. Honestly, I am debating this one between Superstar Saga and 4.
This is the most surprising placing to me so far.
Really?
I thought for sure 4 would have been in your ass.
No. And that's the problem, because I really love chapter 4, but I can't quite put it above Superstar Saga and at that same level as Nier. Because
interesting.
I could sink multiple playthroughs in. Like, this is also something to understand. I like Nier that much that I was considering speedrunning it. I was curious to learn the speedrun and the tricks and optimize, like not optimize, but like learn more optimal play in the game.
Yeah.
Deltarune, once I finished it and I'd sort of explored and found all the stuff I wanted, I don't have much desire to go back to it. It's one of those sorts of games that you play, you enjoy, and then you don't really replay it.
That I think I'm underestimating how much you value replayability. Then that makes sense, especially as a speedrunner.
Mm.
That I can totally see how that is valuable for you.
Yeah. To give brief explanations on the positioning, Chapter 1, they were very much still trying to work out how the game was going to work, who the characters were, and even how the turn-based combat was going to be different from Undertale. It's great, it's charming, the characters are still at some of their best moments. There's very funny, memorable moments, as there always is with a Toby Fox produced game, but I think it was very much the beginning of the game. We were building into something here. They were still trying to figure out what Deltarune was going to be like specifically and how it was going to differ from Undertale. Chapter 2, they very much had figured out what sort of game Deltarune was going to be at this point, had settled into all of the sort of core mechanics that persisted through chapters 3 and 4 as well. They didn't really vary the gameplay as much as they did between those chapters as they did between 1 and 2. And the story and the new characters introduced, it's sort of chef's kiss, incredible. Plus, Spamton is a persistent meme that
Queen
stands
and
the test of
Spamton
time.
are just insane.
Yeah.
Like, and for them to both be from the same chapter as well as like,
As well
God,
as well as Noel and Birdley, like chapter 2 just lifted the standards.
I forgot Noel was like not really in chapter 1 at all. But yeah, no, you're right. That is insane.
And chapter 2 is also where the branching route began as well. But I won't speak too much more about that to minimize spoilers. Whereas chapter 3 is pretty obvious. It felt like filler. It felt like a filler arc. And I know that that was sort of the intention because our characters were still a bit naive to what was truly happening behind the scenes, and the villains are sort of like putting something in their way to distract them for a while. But the ending was amazing in chapter 3, which is why I still have it ranked quite highly, despite the rest of the chapter being very mid to me.
Chapter 3 definitely walked so that chapter 4 could run.
Yeah.
But also, that if we've got to rate them both as sort of their place in the grand scheme of things, as well as its quality as an individual game. It's the unfortunate like middle
child
movie of a trilogy kind of vibe.
And chapter 4, there is a very good reason that the trailers of Undertale show so damn little of chapter 4. The character writing goes up even more so. We get reintroduced to Noel's stories and the branching pathways. And we get so many beautiful new characters and themes. We get hints and more depth given to the overarching story that's at play here, and sets us up so absurdly well for what is going to be an incredible next few chapters that begin releasing next year onwards. Well, I think
I'm so excited to see where it goes. 4 was phenomenal. I don't know how he's going to top it.
Yeah. Oh, the next game I don't even need to talk about much. For frick's sake. If I have to, from level 1, if I'm having to use the speed up function on emulators to make the game feel bearable, because the only way for me to heal is to stand still and wait for my health to go back up, and that enemies can shoot me before they even appear on screen, and there is no easy way to deflect it back at them consistently, those ray guns. Ugh. I'm amazed I got through the game.
I mean, this is the game that killed GB Apocalypse, right?
No, it didn't. I played a bunch more games after that.
Ah,
Then it was That's So Raven, a small little one-stream game, a lot of fun. It was a bit like Lizzie McGuire, but actually sort of played through a couple episodes in its own right. It had a bit of a story to it. Honestly, probably below Winx Club, but still above Mario Kart World. Now we get to a great game, Cuphead. After years of Detox pestering me and Ticker as well pestering me, I finally picked up Cuphead and gave it a try, and it was very worthwhile. I was always worried to pick up Cuphead because I've been told it was a very difficult and challenging game, but I enjoyed it.
it's not.
It
It's
didn't,
not a walk in the park.
yeah, like it wasn't stupidly easy that everything was a first try, but I felt that the difficulty had been exaggerated online into something that was like Dark Souls level, but it was challenging, but it was fair. I never felt like it was bullshit that I died. It always felt like there was a learning opportunity, and it didn't feel as bad as I was expecting. And it actually made me like and appreciate the game a lot more.
It's also just like it very well telegraphs its stuff.
Mm.
It's gorgeous game. Plays like a dream. It's just such a good experience.
It is almost at the S tier level for me. And yeah, never forget the game to journalist's tutorial run. Oh, I love that there's the 5-year-old kid versus the journalist, and the 5-year-old kid finishes 3 minutes earlier.
I mean, you've just proven that you're better than a journalist and also a 5-year-old kid. So, like,
I make that joke every time I've seen playthroughs of it since, and they finish the tutorial. I go, heck yeah, you're better than the game journalists. My favorite was watching one person and they like mucked up the jump and they went, no, 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 I don't want to be compared to the game journalist. And then they messed it up the second time. They were panicking a little bit, but then they like got it the third try. And Sea of Stars is next, and Ticker's going to be a little bit mad with me about this one, but I'm going to put it sort of lowish.
Ticket's going to be mad at me, he says, as he puts it like in his top 10.
I'm putting it below It Takes Two. Honestly, no. It's top of B tier. I liked Sea of Stars, but you're gonna be mad at being in B tier because I feel like you were gonna be you would feel like it should be an S tier or A tier, but I didn't. I feel like if I got to the true ending that you've told me about, I think I would rate it a lot higher, which is why I can only really put it fairly in B tier for what I've played, in that it felt incredibly anticlimactic. The twists felt strained. Suddenly we've got I can't spoil too much, but suddenly we get a very common-ish trope in sci-fi, and I don't know. I didn't quite like that shift in the game. And I think the requirements for true ending are stupid in this game. Compared to a game like Hollow Knight, which does true endings so much better. The combat, while interesting, didn't grow much over time. Basically, how it played at the start was similar to how it played at the end. There wasn't much evolution of the combat, which in the best JRPGs is what you see grow over time. The incredible JRPGs that I've played in the past start off with a relatively simplistic turn-based system, maybe with a couple unique components here and there, and then build on it and grow it more over time. Allow a lot of customizability and allows a lot of flexibility in the play styles that you operate with. Whereas Sea of Stars, I could change up my characters, yes, and they would have different strengths and weaknesses, each of them, but there wasn't too much more to that. And that didn't really change from hour 4 to hour like 25 to 30. The
It's sort
soundtrack
of
is beautiful. The soundtrack's really good in that game.
it sort of lines up with how I felt watching you play it and what I've sort of heard around it, and that it is a work of art. The production values are top notch, and it has all of the tools required to be a fantastic RPG, but it's just missing the sauce. There's just a bit of sauce missing.
Yeah. And I hope if the devs do make another game, another JRPG game, that they grow. They build on that a little bit more and give it that extra little bit needed to turn a great game, like a good game, into an incredible game.
We know they're capable of making fantastic games because The Messenger is great.
I've heard great
action
things about
adventure.
it.
You'd like it.
The opposite issues.
But yeah, no, they just gotta go on it soon. It'll. I mean, Winter Sale's happening like tomorrow, apparently.
I went to lunch today. That's like my remaining expenditure for the month.
Well, that's a you decision.
Okay, and
Got
now
the sauce, but fell down 3 flights of stairs. Yeah, I got Sea of Stars ended up in the Family Guy death pose. It's tragic.
oh. No. She's talking about Christ Tales.
Oh God, yeah, no.
Wait.
Sea of Stars is better than Chris Tales.
Okay. Yeah, I played the demo of that and it was like, I see what they're going for, but damn. Next game. This game was the bane of my existence and it is part of the reason why GBA Apocalypse died and there's not... Okay, it didn't die, but it's why part of the reason I stopped. It's part of the reason why GBA Apocalypse just froze for a second. Yeah, the 4
Not the 4 entries for Deltarune.
Yeah.
You finished Deltarune in like a week, didn't you?
Me, 4 days. It was over that Queen's Birthday long weekend.
I think you finished the entirety of Deltarune faster than like one of the worlds in Brothership.
Yes! Oh my god, Brothership was so damn long. I'm gonna do this now. My Switch 1 has been charging.
I remember distinctly when we went to ASM. I'm just like, I'm gonna play. I've got a whole week ahead of me. I'm gonna play a bunch of games I haven't played before. I wonder what K3M's gonna do. And you spend the entire time on Brothership just because it's that long.
And I didn't even finish it.
Not even close to finishing it.
Oh, frick me! The hours are wrong on the Switch 1. Frickin', I'm going to how long to beat. I'm going to how long to beat.
Now I'm trying to figure out if you're mad that like it's in B tier because you think it should be higher, or if you think it should be lower.
For reference, How Long to Beat, great website. I recommend it a lot. It's great for cataloging your games and tracking your completions. Higher.
Dang.
Okay, it was the longest game I've played this year. It was longer than Silksong.
Brothership was the longest game you played this year, not late.
And I nearly 100%ed Silksong. I any percented Brothership.
They were just so excited to be back. You know, it's been a decade since the last since the last Mario and Luigi game. They're like, we don't know if we're gonna get another chance. You gotta put everything into this one. Maybe they shouldn't have put everything into this one.
So Brothership was 57 hours and 37 minutes spent on this game. Now, it was a freaking great game.
Brothership was longer than Nier Automata. Light was not. Light was not
one
long.
of the shortest games I played this year. Oh no! I finished all the endings for Light. 100% of that.
I think that's ending A. I think that's Automata.
Oh yeah, no, heck yeah! I did 25 of 26 endings in Nier.
Oh, you just did. Did you not do
I didn't do the one that requires 100%ing the game and fighting a super boss at level 99.
Okay, I was thinking of a different ending. Don't worry.
So Brothership, incredible game. Really returns back to that traditional Mario and Luigi style game, and especially after playing this after Superstar Saga, I loved it. The reason I have it lower than Superstar Saga is because Superstar Saga did not drag on. It was just the right perfect length. When it started to feel like it was getting a little bit repetitive and a little bit come on, pace up the story, it wrapped up. If anything, I feel like a bit of the time for Brothership could have gone to Superstar Saga. I feel like Superstar Saga could have been like 5 to 10 hours longer and it would have been like beautiful. And Brothership could have been about 15 hours shorter. Oh, I probably will play the other games.
We got to get you to play Bowser's Inside Story.
I know the story of Bowser's Inside Story. Or at least I know the final boss. It's so good.
That's just the one I keep. Like, I've only played Superstar Saga out of the Mario and Luigi's, but I've heard so much good stuff about Bowser's Inside Story in particular.
Yeah.
Oh, the whole series, really, but especially that one. Brothership looks real fun, though. Like, also, I'm impressed in how stretchy and dynamic the animation and like the vibes are.
Wait, I'm going to do this because it's funny. One of my former students, just texted me. And they were, because we were talking about games a little bit. And he's like, "Do you still Twitch stream?"
Funny story about that.
But yeah, I'm actually going to say funny story, but I'm actually live now.
I love when they were remaking the Mario and Luigi games. They're like, "We're going to remake Superstar Saga." Okay, we don't. This studio doesn't have much time left. We're just going to skip Partners in Time and remake Bowser's Inside Story because we know that's the magnum opus one.
Yeah,
and yeah, I mean, it didn't work out great for Alpha Dream, but from my understanding, a lot of them jumped ship to Nintendo and worked on Brothership. So that's
heck
cool.
Yes, because yeah, Brothership felt great. I loved as long as it was, I really did like the gameplay. The story was great as well. Lots of unique new characters, beautiful new world, while still having characters from the old series appearing. You know, you had your standard Peach, your Mario, your Bowser, Bowser Jr., all the sort of classic characters were showing up still, but you still had a lot of new characters appearing, and they each had their own unique sort of stories that did ultimately tie together in the final plot. And Mario and Luigi, as usual, is cinematically beautiful with its attacks, and the improved hardware from the GBA and DS to the Switch was used well by Nintendo to really style up the cinematic beauty of these brothers' attacks.
They're so good. They look so clean. Oh my god.
The final fight is so awesome in terms of style. It's so beautiful and so charming. I love it.
It's worth the wait.
Honestly, probably was for a lot of for a lot of fans of the series. The only issue was it did drag on a little bit. I feel like cut it back by about 10, 15 hours and it probably would have been beautiful. It would have been great. It would have probably been pushing S tier for me by that. Yeah, nothing else is up there with Nier.
I don't think there's anything left. I don't think there's anything left in these 5 games that has any chance of making S tier. Definitely not. I say lying through my teeth.
I'm just telling him which channel. Because he's like, "Oh, now can I finally know your channel name?" And I'm like, "Yeah, there you go."
This is your graduation present. You get to interact with me out of hours.
Oh yeah, no, Nier was great, and hey, no, so we're actually gonna get some. I might push Cuphead up into S tier short at the end. We'll see. Next is Kyla Escape Femis. It's Kyla vs. Femis Escape. It's a niche little action platforming 2D game, and it's great. It's a little fan game made for a VTuber called Kyla, and well, okay, I say fan game, but she like directly commissioned it and like gave lots of direction to the creator of the game, and it was meant to be like a present to the fans. And I don't really follow Kyla, but the game is really fun, and it's free, and it's a solid 5 to 6 hour experience. And for people who have seen me in enough casual games off stream, it's got fishing, and I love fishing.
We really need to do a stream one of these days that's just like we just get you to play a bunch of fishing mini games in games.
Honestly? Oh,
It'd be funny
no.
as hell.
No. Deltarune Chapter 4 is... I am torn between Pemascape and Deltarune Chapter 4. I'm going to put it just below Chapter 4.
Neither of us have played Claire Obscure yet, no.
Yeah, no, neither of us have. But if
I barely can run it. Keith, I think, can, but
It's
you've
too
just been
expensive.
busy.
It's also too expensive for me. I want it to be
True.
$30, then I'll buy it.
That's a good point. That is a game that will go on $30 eventually.
Yeah. Also, now we get to the very obvious next game. Not even a question.
I mean, better or worse than Nier? That's what I want to know.
Better than Nier. Better than Nier. 100%
fair.
better than Nier. Nier was great, but oh
So-
my god, Silk Song delivered on everything, every bit of hype it built up.
So I have a question for you.
Yep.
Hollow Knight Silk Song.
Mm.
Obviously, we've got 3 games to go. I'm assuming this is the pick. I'm assuming this is the top of the year for you.
Yes. This was fun.
Where
This
does
was
it
fun.
rank all time? Sorry to put you on the spot like that, but
That is
just a
evil.
rough image. Do you have an idea of where you'd rank that?
I don't.
That's
And
fair. That's fair.
but it is up there with some of my favorite games of all time. It is up there with the original Hollow Knight. It is up there with Super Mario Sunshine. It is up there with Persona 5 Royal. It is everything I was expecting and more. Why, Rune? That's mean. And also, yes, Rob. I'm sorry. Nier is great, but oh my god.
Look, sometimes you just have a game that psychically links with you.
Yeah.
That's just like, this game is me. This game is made for me.
Yep. And as much as people say that Silksong is really difficult, and there is a whole difficulty discussion with Silksong that is out there, but how it boils down to me is that every person out there has some sort of capacity in terms of what is difficult enough that it is challenging but still fun. And when a game is too difficult for you, at that point in time, for reference, skill is like it's constantly changing over time. People's skill levels and capabilities with gaming changes as you play more games, as you play same games of a certain genre, even just as you age and change. You might not play games for a while. But I think that if a game is above that threshold for a person, it feels constantly unfun and is a drain. For a lot of people, unfortunately, that is what Silksong is to them. It's just too difficult for them, and it makes it very unenjoyable to play. And I completely understand that the perspective of people, because that is my
Yeah, that's fair.
perspective on any Dark Soul game. I tried a
It's-
Dark Soul game and I despised every second of it.
In a weird way, it's sort of your experience with Portal. Not that the game is too hard for you, but that the game is like difficult for you to play for reasons that is unrelated to the quality of the game.
Yeah. Whereas Silksong for me was right at that level where I felt incredibly challenged, but I loved every second of it because it felt so satisfying.
When a game hits that sweet spot, it's the best feeling in the world.
Yep. And that's also fair, Rob. That's also entirely fair. That Silksong is also a game that loves to have you build up your skill over time. I don't think it does it as well as the original Hollow Knight does. Okay, I will say this, I was a little bit contrarian with Trovio, but also at the time that you and Bam and Detops were all glazing, okay, you and Bam were glazing Trovio, you were loving him, I was struggling in the fight and raging. So I did not like Trovio at that point. In hindsight, I love Trovio. But fighting him for the first time, I fucking hated him. He's such a prick and he's so good at attacking you.
I saw a fantastic post on Blue Sky today because the Silksong DLC got announced this
Yes, I saw that on the drive home. I'm like, what? What? It's not a mod? It's real?
It's real, and also they're improving, they're adding fixes to original Hollow Knight.
I can't believe
which is
it.
great. I can finally, when I get around to playing Hollow Knight, I can play it in 120 frames per second or whatever. It'd be great.
Oh, I already played at 120 frames per second.
Oh, okay. Well, I can play it. I could probably I could do that on a Switch. But yeah, this post was just like, man, is Hollow Knight the greatest cultural export Australia's ever made? And then they're just like 10 seconds later, they're just like, sorry guys, I forgot about Bluey.
Yeah.
It was like greatest, like most dominant or whatever. And it's like, I don't know if I'd say that Hollow Knight is the biggest cultural product we've like put out in the last decade or so. Especially because Bluey exists. But also it's like, oh, I kind of see where they're coming from.
You're not a big
it is a great shame of mine that I haven't even started I've barely started the OG Hollow Knight, let alone Silksong.
Try it. It's so good. It is up there in my S tier for a reason. I recommend
I keep saying, I just need like 3 to 4 hours of complete unbroken playtime.
Yeah, that's it.
Because every time I start it, the jump mechanics feel weird to me, and not bad, just weird. And it's like, it's just a game that I need to get the initial hours in to get familiar with. And then when I'm comfortable with it, I know I'm going to love it. Like, it is exactly my type of game.
I got to round this out quickly so we can get onto yours.
Oh, shit, true.
Shovel Knights. Great game to play after the incredibly long games that I played just before it. Silksong and Brothership. It was a nice little palate cleanser. Great game. Can definitely see why it's a very beloved classic. And am keen to see what the developers do with Meat of the Hollow Art when it eventually comes out.
Oh, I'm so keen. Oh, Meat is going to be great. That demo is so good.
As for where I place it, above Brothership, but below Pemascape, I believe.
That's fair. Shovel Knight is a game that has aged very well, but it has also been surpassed by a lot of things. I also keep thinking it's earlier than it actually is. It's like 2015, not like 2012 or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, Shovel Knight's so good.
Ticker is right. Unfortunately, there is another S tier game coming. And it is not Bonanza.
Oh, the swerve!
Honestly, Bonanza is a lot of fun. It scratches my itch a lot about exploring. And I'm going to put it above It Takes Two, and I'm also going to shift these two down. I'm going to do a little bit of tier restructuring now.
You were like framing Shaman King as sort of like the border, so like that makes sense.
So Bonanza's great. It scratches my itch. I love just exploring the world and hitting random shit. I found out very quickly after the first sublayer, though, that trying to 100% the game as you go is exhausting. And instead, what I much prefer is just exploring around until I get bored of that sublayer and then progressing. And it's really fun to do because I get there is a cool like level up system where you can build your skills, and it just feels great. It was made by the developers of Odyssey, and it definitely feels that way. the movement abilities of Donkey feel quite similar to Mario and Odyssey, but have their own obviously distinct touch to it that makes it a Donkey Kong game, not a Mario game. I recommend it to people who have a Switch 2, because if you've got a Switch 2, there's not much else that you'd be getting exclusively on it anyway. But it's going to be worth the money anyway, despite the very high cost. It was nominated for Game of the Year for a reason, and were it not for an absurdly stacked 2025, people probably would have been talking about it winning.
It is wild that like you have basically the sequel to Odyssey, one of the, if not the like most high budget like 3D platformer in years. Astrobot, you can make an argument for Astrobot, I guess. And it's just like, you know, such a fundamentally solid game. I have a couple issues with it. We'll get into it when we get to my tier list. That's just like more of like a personal thing. I think it's a phenomenal game. And yet I would probably rank it like third or fourth out of the Game of the Year nominees, just because this year is so bloody stacked.
Yeah.
God.
We'll finish off mine pretty quickly. Anybody who's ever talked to me knows that I am already addicted to the Yakuza series. Off just like 2 hours of this game alone, I got hooked onto it. I'm now at around 10 to 12 hours in a game that Ponder has told me will take me 60 hours with how I'm playing it. And I think
You'll be
I'm going
right.
to enjoy every second of it.
You'll be fine.
The combat is incredible. There is a fair bit of customizability and variability in your gameplay as well. So you don't just have to fight the standard way that you get at the beginning. You can very much change it up depending on how you want to fight. The heat actions are incredible, and they satisfy my desire for gratuitous violence constantly. The scene I always like to describe to people as the thing that sold me on the game instantly is in the very first chapter of the game. This is not a spoiler because it's literally 40 minutes into the game. You are storming a hideout in a way. You're storming a Yakuza hideout, and well, you're also trying to escape the Yakuza hideout at the same time. But you're coming up to a door. It's locked. You see a window nearby is within jumping reach. Kiryu jumps off the balcony, smashes through the window, only to discover that it's actually a bathroom. A bunch of muscular goons are pissing in the urinals. They zip up, fight you. The boss comes in, the mini boss comes in, and you end that whole fight sequence by slamming the guy's head into the urinal bowl, drowning him a little bit in the urinal water, then lifting it back up, and then smashing it again into the bowl and shattering it.
Phenomenal.
It scratches my gratuitous violence so much that itch is just so satisfied playing Yakuza. And that
I'm
rounds...
so glad that you've decided to play Yakuza, because it is like Yakuza 0 is a fantastic game. It's such a new series, and like it's so fun watching you like seeing you enjoy just such a good game.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So that was my tier list. I will screenshot it and post it in my Discord.
Heck yeah.
I hope I have justified some of my contentious takes.
I don't think anything was particularly out there. Like I keep thinking that I'm more down on Mario Kart World than other people, and definitely I've seen a range of takes, but like, yeah, I've also seen like I've sort of seen other people with that opinion, other than just us two. So I don't think it's that controversial. I don't know.
Okay, phew. What is your opinion on the Winx Club?
What is your opinion on the Winx Club game, Caterham?
Okay, I would repeat it, but I imagine we want to get through your tier list and the other ones too.
That's just true. Yeah. That's cool. I no one knows any of the games I played, so like it's gonna be quick.
Okay, so we've now got Aura's one tier.
Let's go. Hi, I'm Aura. I played some video games this year. Cathram has control of the mouse, so we're going to go through these one at a time. I'm just going to tell him where to put things. First off, we have 1,000 Times Resist. This is an adventure game. We're sort of set a very COVID-inspired game, sort of set after the apocalypse, where a sort of infection has wiped out most of humanity. Chuck this straight into S. This is one of the best games I played this year. This just one of the. It's a phenomenal narrative, phenomenal sort of direction. The visuals aren't the most high fidelity or anything, but the way that like scenes are framed is really good. It's just an incredible game all around. I loved it so much.
I recommend to people at the moment, get your Steam open and start wishlisting anything Aura talks about that seems interesting. I'm wishlisting 1,000 X Resist now.
Please do. It's great. For reference, just quickly through the tiers. S is everyone should. I recommend everyone should play this. Like, not even you should check this out. You should just play it. A is everyone should check it out. I enjoyed them. Maybe there's some caveats, but overall, I think any negatives are heavily outweighed by its positives. B tier is I really liked it. Maybe a bit more mixed on it. I think that if you like the look of it, you should check it out. C tier are games that I didn't hate, but I didn't feel I feel was missing something, or I feel I didn't get as much value out of compared to other games. Most of the time, it's either it's short, or it's like I just didn't click with me or whatever. Still good if you really think you like the look of it, you should give it a shot. D tier is games that I personally didn't like, but like, hey, if you like it, that's fine. F tier is games I would genuinely not recommend anyone. We don't have any of those this year.
Oh, okay.
That's why. If there were, I would have put it down. I generally don't have F tiers on games I've beaten because I won't finish them. I have too many. There's too much other stuff to do in life to play games that I don't like playing. And the only one that there's only one in D tier this year, and I only finished it because it was very short. And also because it's not that bad a game, it just wasn't my thing. So that's where we're at. Angelinera, I'm cheating here because I haven't finished this yet. I'm actively playing it.
Right now?
Right now. No, I was earlier today. It was good. It's an action RPG, sort of like your Zelda likes, with bump combat from very, very Falcom inspired, where every single level is hidden in the overworld. And there's like a lot of very heavy emphasis on finding secrets, and this interesting narrative delving into sort of like Christianity and spirituality. The vibes are immaculate. The gameplay is pretty good. I currently, this is in A tier, and I think it would be I'd be very surprised if it changes from here. I enjoyed it a lot. Anton Blast. As I said, I am slightly higher on this than Cathram is. I adored Wario. I love Wario. I love the Wario Land games. When I found out that the guy who made Anton Bowl, which is sort of like a breakout game where instead of a paddle you play as Anton, where the vibes were great but the gameplay was like not quite my thing. So when he was like, I'm making a game and it's basically Wario Land 4 starring my Wario guy, I'm like, awesome, I'm in. I think it's very good. It has the source, but it still is missing something. And I'm not entirely sure what. I think, I don't know. I've thought about this a lot. The only thing I can think of is that like the two separate sets of bosses feels weird. Like the flow of the game itself was a little weird. I still think this is a phenomenal game. Any like sort of platformer fan should check it out. This is A tier for me, below Angelinera though. I'm really grooving on Angelinera. Berserk Boy. This is sort of like a Mega Man style like action game. Probably more focused on melee than shooting. I liked it. A decent amount. I think it's Australian. I think there's an Australian studio involved with it, which is pretty neat. This is a B tier for me. I think it's a solid game. It's missing a bit of polish. There's a lot of like every time you beat a world, you have to go through a bunch of overworld like hub level stuff that's just sort of there to waste time and just. I almost wish it was just individual levels rather than having like a hub or a story at all. You sort of there's a section of indie games that have a story that doesn't quite land. It feels like they've made it just so that there is a story. Which it's not a bad story, but it does kind of feel a bit like that.
Yeah, looking at it a little bit now on Steam, it definitely looks fun, but at the same time, I can definitely see it sort of missing the mark just a little bit.
Yeah, definitely worth a look, but yeah, probably like a wait till sale kind of vibe.
Especially for that price. Like, I would say $30 is a 30 AUD is a little on the more expensive side for something like this.
Yeah, I mean, dev's got to eat, but I definitely understand. Indie games are horrifically underpriced as is, and we sort of, we're lucky that we are able to sort of take advantage of that. But yeah, it's also, when there's so much other stuff out there, it's hard to can be hard to sort of justify sometimes.
I want to take a guess. The next one's going to be S tier or high A tier, right?
This one's mid A tier.
Oh.
I think it's this is hard. This is Castlevania Aria of Sorrow for the GBA. The sort of the last of the 3 GBA Castlevanias, and definitely I haven't played the middle one, whose name escapes me. I have played Circle of the Moon, and it didn't quite click with me. I think because Castle of the Moon is like a Symphony of the Night, like Metroidvania style Castlevania game, but you're a Belmont. You've got the whip. You sort of have a Belmonty like mobility around you. Whereas Aria of Sorrow, you are flat out like you're basically an Alucard XP, and that was I'm a rambler. Sorry, D-Tops. And that made it click a lot better for me. Definitely A tier. This is an incredible game. Probably below Anton Blast, and that's entirely due to personal preference. If I didn't like the aesthetics of Anton Blast as much as I did, Aria of Sorrow is probably a better game overall, but I just love the vibes of Anton Blast. Yeah. Also emulatable, but also available through the Castlevania Advance Collection, which is how I played it. And that was pretty good. We got next. Oh, Chained Echoes. So you played Sea of Stars. Chained Echoes was my like indie art JRPG throwback of the year. I loved Chained Echoes. It's missing like it needs it's like if it was slightly more polished, it would be a candidate for S tier for me.
Yeah, because like I loved the game a lot.
Really liked it. I took to it very well. There's a katana wielding red lesbian which you can just stack a crit build on and kill everything instantly. Like it was made for me. The script is fine. The dialogue is normally pretty good, but there were moments where it like kind of brought me out of it. The mech combat is not as interesting as I was hoping it would be. But the non-mech combat and the game sort of dances between the two pretty well. Is pretty fun. There's a lot of different options. There's not much in the way of sort of you unlock some stuff over time, but a lot of it is just sort of optimizing what you have. and you can find some stuff that works pretty well and just sort of stick with that, and that sort of served me well. This is A tier for me, but it is the lowest of the 4 we've currently got.
I was going to say, from what you're saying, it sounds a little bit like Sea of Stars as well, where like the combat system doesn't evolve much from the start to the end.
It does, in the sense that I think you gain more options over time in a better way than Sea of Stars does. Like, you don't gain a tank until like 2/3 of the way through the game.
Jeez.
Like, that's like one of your last 2 party members are your tanks. That was a bit weird. Before then, you have very little way of mitigating aggro. Yeah, the overall very fun game. I played the DLC as well, because DLC came out this year. The game itself was end of 2023, I think. And the DLC was a fun ride as well. And yeah, no, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Chairs, a game that is impossible to Google, apparently.
I struggle to get an image of this game for reference.
Chairs game gives you gaming chairs. Chairs Steam gives you what, like steamed chairs or something?
Yeah, it gives you Steam machines that you can use to clean chairs.
Chairs is all right.
And chair game gives you gaming chairs, yeah. And
Chairs,
chair game Steam was what finally got me hits.
There you go. We got there in the end. Chairs is a 3D platformer that sort of prioritizes speed. You're trying to collect a certain amount of items in a level, and once you've done that, you can go to the exit and sort of, there's a timer. There's a bunch of movement mechanics. It was solid. It felt fun to play. But when I was done, I didn't really feel compelled to sort of go back. This was during ASM, so I was playing a lot of excellent platforms at the time. So I think that maybe it was unfair comparison, but I had fun. I'm not rushing to play again. This is my first C tier game.
Ooh.
C for chairs. Declines drops. The way I describe decline drops is, you remember the adventure mode from Super Smash Bros. Brawl?
No, because I never played it.
Understandable. All right. If any of y'all have, so it was, sort of like a platformer that set in the Smash Brothers engine. So your character had like regular movement, they had their regular attacks and specials, and it was sort of mixed between platforming challenges and like fights.
Oh, so
and
a bit like the Melee one.
Yes, a bit like the very similar to the Melee one, actually. Declines Drops is kind of like if someone took that vibe and turned it into a like indie platformer. So you've got a character with a kind of Smash-like feel to them. I think you can literally wave dash. And then you've got these platforming levels that sort of have that mixture of platforming and beat 'em up. Game feels incredible to control. The aesthetics are really fun. I had a great time sort of blasting through it. It's sort of, there's a couple of hidden things to unlock, and sort of there's like a post game they added as DLC that, which I think is free, that sort of amps the difficulty up to 11. I really liked Declines Drops. I think it was a really good game. This is A tier for me. It's probably above Chained Echoes, honestly.
Oof.
Yeah, between Aria and Chained Echoes.
Or Chained Echoes. It's taken all the hits.
It's fine. Chained Echoes is still a phenomenal game. Deltarune. We've already been over Deltarune a bit. And sort of just as a quick recap, I kind of feel that Chapter 3 is fine, but it's walked so that Chapter 4 could run. Chapter 4 is a phenomenal game that, like, really, the wait between Deltarune 2 and 3+4 was like so long, and I was like so scared that the seeds that had started to be sown in Chapter 2 wouldn't really come to fruition. but they did. Toby Fox is a genius. He's got the sauce. Chapter 3 is A tier for me, but it's the bottom of A tier so far. Chapter 4. Oh,
You weren't expecting to have to separate these, were you?
no, I was entirely. My question is it better or worse than Thousand Times Resist? It's definitely S tier for me.
I still remember how you grinded the heck out of Delta in Chapter 4 so that when we were driving to ASM, I wouldn't have to hide spoilers.
Yeah, because we obviously we're traveling to ASM together. I knew it would be unfair to you if you couldn't talk about it. So I on the trip up. So I very explicitly pushed myself to finish Deltarune before then, and I got there with a day to spare. I still haven't done the Chapter 3 Super Boss as a result, but that's fine. It's too close to call. S tier is going to be impossible to rank. Below 1,000 Times Resist for now. They're basically even. It's basically a tie at this point.
Oh yeah, I know where this is going to go.
Demon School. No, that's not what D's for. Demon School is bottom of A. Demon School is probably going to be the bottom of A. This is another one I've sort of started. It's a really solid tactical RPG about a demon hunter on a remote island that's sort of swarming with demons, and they're trying to prevent the apocalypse whilst also somewhat navigating school life. Very aiming to be Persona-y, but honestly, probably more of the earlier Personas rather than the latter. The once again, vibes are immaculate. The sound design is incredible. The aesthetics on point. I really like that. The combat so far has been pretty fun. I'm sort of finally getting to the point where it's sort of showing its teeth and sort of struggling against that. Still very early days. This is probably the one that is the most likely to change, but currently I'm having fun with it.
It was worth the fantasy pick.
Yes, 100%. I've been picking this for Fantasy Critic for 3 years. This was my Silk Song basically, because it got delayed 3 times, and then got delayed again because it was supposed to release the same day as Silk Song.
Yeah. September 4th. Haha, see Marcus, it's coming out. Oh, yeah, Silk Song.
That's all right. That's on me. Detective Riddell. All right, this is a game that I saw at PAX Oz a year or two ago and was like, this looks kind of neat. It's sort of what if Professor Layton, but all of the puzzles were sort of escape room type things. So sort of a similar vibe to Layton puzzles, but they exist sort of in the world as escape room bits. And it was designed by a guy. I think it's a single programmer, and he used to work on escape rooms. So he's sort of taken his real life experience and applying them into a game. Graphically, the character art is fantastic. The 3D world is, I would charitably say, charming. Yeah. It's a bit. It's definitely a bit less of the focus, but I think it's fine for what it is. The story is fairly straightforward. It's not a long game, so there's not a lot of time for twists. But it was fun working out the mystery, and sort of it gives you enough threads to go on that it took a second for me to sort of pinpoint the sort of the culprit in the end. It's definitely. Ooh, I like it more than Berserk Boy, so I'm putting it above Berserk Boy and B. It's probably objectively a worse game. It's definitely a less polished game, but I found it really charming, and I really hope that they make more, either in this series or other games. I think there's something there. They have the source.
Yeah. Looking at it, I see what you mean about the art style being charming, but not necessarily polished or considered high quality these days.
If you're really, 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 really excited for the new Layton game and you're hanging out for some puzzles and you just want something to sink an afternoon into, there's worse ways to spend your time. What's next? Oh, it's Donkey Kong.
Bonanza. Time for the controversial takes.
Yeah, see, I keep tossing between this. So I think Donkey Kong Bonanza is a fantastic 3D platformer. My compulsion to 100% games and my compulsion to like the way that everything in the world can be destroyed makes this game really overstimulating for me. To the point where like I've realized I like can't play this in handheld mode. Because the small screen combined with like everything going on just like does my head in a little. That being said, like phenomenal game. But I also am only like halfway through it. I kind of dropped it for now. Well, not dropped. I paused it for now because it was sort of not quite. I was having a bad time with it, and I'm just like, I need to take a breather rather than try and push through. As such, currently it's top of B tier for me. This could very well change. It really like the quality of the platformer itself and the polish and everything. It really is an A tier game. It's just similar to Portal for you. It's just a game that like I physically, it's physically difficult for me to play it.
Yeah.
More of a mental thing than like a motion sickness thing, but I am struggling with it.
No, it makes
Which
sense. It sounds like
sad.
a similar issue that I had with Anton Blast, where like
exactly
too much happening on the screen at once was overstimulating me.
That's exactly right. Yeah, I don't know how Anton Blast didn't trip me with that. I guess because it really should have, but I think the simplicity of the screen helped. Whereas like Bonanza, there's just like a million like colors and lights and everything on the screen at once. I'm not sure. Anyways, great game. Definitely recommend it. Next is Dream Barbecue Chapter 1. This game is free, I believe.
Oh.
You can choose to. What is it? I think you can choose to pay for it and unlock stuff. I'm pretty sure it's free. That means you have no excuse not to play it because it is a great little game. Sort of like a little adventure game starring Anna from the hit YouTube series of the same name. It's this very weird, esoteric little series where nothing really makes sense, but that's kind of the charm of it. And yeah, in this game, you sort of go around and talk to random weirdos to sort of do simple puzzles and sort of understand what's going on. And it's just a fun little labyrinth to sort of slink around and meet all sorts of weirdos with. I really like this one. I think currently I'm gonna put it at the top of B. I'm tossing between A and B for this one. It's sort of Demon School, Anna, and Bonanza are all sort of similar. Anna I did finish, but it's only chapter 1.
Yeah.
So it feels a bit incomplete. And Demon School and Bonanza I haven't finished yet. And they're all sort of, I could see them go either way. But I think looking at the quality of everything else in A tier, it does feel like a little bit below it at the moment. Still a fantastic thing. And once again, is free. Not that long either. It's pretty good.
Looking at a little bit of the art and trailer of it, I think it's a game that Bamford would really like because he really loves the Alice Madness series, and it gives me similar sort of vibes just looking at it with that like sort of disturbed or distorted perspective of the world.
Definitely. It sort of has like a it's sort of bizarre reality by way of like Windows 95 almost.
Mm.
And Anna themselves is a fantastic little mascot character. I love him a lot. All right. Evil Zone. This is the first game I played this year.
Oh.
Technically. I think it's more of, I don't remember actually. It was either the last game I played last year or the first game I played this year because I remember played it New Year's. This is a fighting game for the PS1 with one attack button.
Oh, was this the game that
Yeah.
you played at that we played at your
Yep.
birthday?
Yes. Every single character is designed as the protagonist of their own little anime to the point where the single player mode is you go through their show almost. Like it's sort of framed like it's their like each fight is an episode complete with like theme songs and a narrator that's just like on the next episode you're fighting this guy, and it's just so charming. I like it a lot. It can be a bit difficult to sort of figure out how to do your attacks because a lot of it is very context heavy. And there's a charm to I played the English dub of this, and there's a charm to it, but I could see that putting off some people. For me, this is between Bonanza and Detective Riddell in B tier. I liked it a lot. I really want to play it with more people. I think it's fun. It's good. Final Fantasy 3. This is the DS version. I'm trying to go through all of the Final Fantasies. I played 1 and finished up 2 this year, but like that was 1 dungeon, so I don't really count it as a 2025 game. And I've started 4, but I've only barely into that. So 3 is the main one, is the entry from this year. Great game. The DS version sort of takes the generic Onion Knight protagonists of the original and sort of tries to give them a bit of character and a bit of flavor. And I think it's cute. Overall, this game is very cute. I didn't have too much trouble through the game, and then the final boss was just required a level so much higher than what I actually was at, and so I had to grind like 10 levels for everyone. That took me a couple hours, and that was really, really annoying. But it's not the worst grind I've had to do for an RPG. There's not a lot of big grand story. It's sort of pushing the limits for what an NES game can do, which, you know, when the DS remake kind of came out, was far below what games were capable of. Overall, a great game. Probably above Evil Zone, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Right below Bonanza.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Like Bonanza, I'm still a bit up. Bonanza is a better game, though I really did enjoy my time with 3.
I'm curious to hear your thoughts on the next game because this is one I've seen a lot of people play online, and it looks like it's a lot of fun, but I can imagine it's also probably quite frustrating.
Okay, so Is This Seat Taken? Is a fun little puzzle game where you're thrust into a bunch of situations where like people need to be seated. So you might be at a cinema, you might be at a sport event, you might be on a bus, etc. You might be in class or whatever. And each character has their own likes and dislikes. So there might be someone who hates strong smells, and then you might have a guy who's really smelly. And so you can't put them together. And so the puzzles are just trying to figure out who goes where. I finished is this seat taken? And I fully understand how other people could get a lot out of it. It really didn't do much for me, unfortunately. This is my D tier game.
Oh damn.
Not once again, it's not a bad game. It's like well polished. I think the puzzles were like they got it harder, but it really felt more annoying than more difficult. And it didn't feel like it was really sort of pushing me or like getting me to think about things in a different way. It was just sort of like either I kind of my method worked, or I just kind of had to rejig things a little bit in order to get them to work.
Yeah.
I think if you're wanting a challenging puzzler, this is not for you. If you're wanting just like a cute little puzzle game to sort of, chip out over the course of a week, it's fine at what it does.
Have you played Bubba Is You?
I love Bubba Is You.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say, from what you're saying, it seems like Bubba Is You is much more what you were looking for, where it sort of builds on the puzzle elements, but still feeling fair and simplistic enough to solve, without feeling like you're just guessing and throwing shit at the wall, hoping it works.
Pretty much. I'm really bad at Bubba Is You, by the way. I'm nowhere close to finishing that game. I am not great at puzzles. Kind of wild. This is like this, and I think Detective Riddell are the only puzzles we've ranked so far, where like half the games in my list of puzzles. We'll get there. Yeah, not a bad game, just probably better than my CT games, honestly. Just it wasn't not what I was looking for. Kira Magical Stars. This is a sort of a homebrew Game Boy Color game, starring, I think her name's Kira. Maybe it's not. I don't remember what her name is. But it's sort of like an action RPG where you go around and sort of your friends have been captured, so you got to shoot down some bad guys to free them. This was fun. It was. I think it's either free or cheap.
I had $9.
It's $9.
It'll be
That's
absurdly cheap come tomorrow in the Steam sale.
Yeah,
because Steam sale starts tomorrow, right?
I think so. That's what I've heard.
Okay, we picked an absurdly good day to do this then.
You did. This is a fun little game that I enjoyed, and just sort of starts on the 18th.
So 2 days. Close enough. You've got time to go back and watch the VOD and jot down everything you want to wish list.
Fun little game I enjoyed and didn't think too much about after finishing. This is top of C tier for me. Once again, not a bad game, just like fun little experience. That was yeah, right. Could have been.
Dun, 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 dun.
So I played this on the Nintendo Switch Online over ASM because Kura Fever had swept the nation.
It always sweeps ASM. It is the game to play there.
So there's a game called Frogcopter for Nintendo Switch that I picked up a while ago and kind of liked, but had some problems with. And I was sort of aware of Kuririn, but hadn't really played it. And then when I'd heard of the lore of Kuririn at ASM, I'm like, you know what? Let me give it a shot. I really liked it. It's very simple. You're just a little guy that's rotating around, and you have to navigate through mazes. You can't really control how you rotate, so you just have to like move such that your rotation naturally sort of flows with the layout of the maze. I had a lot of fun with this game. It gets very, very tricky, especially if you're trying to get all like the secrets and trying to do it without taking damage. This is probably bottom of A tier for me.
Below Demon School, damn.
It's close.
I meant how high up it is.
Oh yeah, no, I love Kuririn. This is my jam.
Nah.
A game, it's very simple, but it knows what it knows what it wants to do, and it does it extremely well.
Hmm.
Yeah, what we got? That is
Legends
Pokemon
ZA.
Legends ZA. It's the game that one of the games that made me decide to get a Switch 2 at launch, even though it wasn't going to come out at launch.
And it was coming out on Switch 1.
Yeah, but I wanted the best version of it.
Yeah.
I love Pokemon. Yum Yum Pokemon. This is sort of, in some ways, a radically different Pokemon experience, and in other ways, really not. The real-time battling, I thought, was done really well for a series that has. I really like the way that Pokemon battles work. I think that sort of the formula they've sort of ended up with and have sort of honed and perfected over the last 30 years is like just fun to play with and fun to watch, and I think works really well. And I don't think that this necessarily matches the highs I get from that, but I think it is an extraordinarily good interpretation of the Pokemon formula in real time. And as long as the main series doesn't do away with turn-based entirely just yet, I think that's fine. I really like the wild zones as well. The whole game feels like very meticulously handcrafted compared to, say, like Legends Arceus, where the sort of the vibe was more open world and just sort of, especially Scarlet and Violet, where it feels like a lot of the world was just sort of left empty.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoyed that a lot. I enjoyed a lot of the cast. I think it's a really fun group of weirdos that they've sort of assembled, and that they're given a lot of stuff to do, which is very sort of rare for a Pokemon game. And I sort of like the direction they're taking there. Overall, I think this is a really solid Pokemon game, and it sort of makes me excited for the future of Pokemon. We're probably getting Gen 10 next year, and really curious to see how that'll go.
Probably, considering the leaks.
Yeah, I know, right? This is A tier for me. I think it's between Chained Echoes and Deltarune.
Ooh.
Yeah, no. Chained Echoes, I felt compelled to finish. Legends ZA, I was pushing myself a little. But both are pretty good RPGs.
It's good that it seems that the Pokemon series has turned the tide a little bit after the Switch games.
Yeah, I think this is a very good note for the Switch era of Pokemon to end on. Because really, this is a Switch game. The Switch 2 version is just sort of an enhanced version of it. And if the rumors are true, then, the next one's more Switch 2 oriented. So, but I'll leave it there.
The rumors.
Yeah, I realized halfway through saying, like, shut up, Aura, shut up.
Oh, what's wrong with talking about it?
Not everyone wants to read the leaks. So.
Oh, okay, yeah, fair.
Okay, here we go. Lingo 2. This is, for those of you familiar with The Witness, this is basically what if The Witness was all word puzzles. For those of you not familiar with The Witness, so why did I make that comparison? It's sort of like an open world puzzle game where you come across puzzles in the world and you solve them, and that unlocks things. And so you've kind of got, I suppose it's more of the anti-chamber than The Witness, but you've kind of got two types of puzzles: the actual word puzzles themselves, and then also sort of the meta puzzles of unlocking parts of the world to solve more puzzles. I loved the original Lingo. This takes the concepts made by Lingo and sort of amps it up to 11 with sort of twice the length and a lot of emphasis on limiting the letters that you have available to you to sort of it's almost like a Metroidvania. You're sort of searching out the letters before you can actually use them to type out words.
I was about to actually say that. It sounds a bit Metroidvania-esque.
It is a bit. There's the puzzle are on the whole very good. There's a couple that there's a couple of times where I was sort of stumped by things where I sort of had valid answers, but they weren't quite the answers that they were looking for. But there's a sort of very robust hint system that sort of helps nudge you along if you're bad at puzzles like I am. I really liked this. This is probably top of A for me.
Oh,
Yeah, top of A for me. Probably the highest A is going to get. Excellent game. Anyone who enjoys word puzzles should seek this one out. All right, Logiark Grimoire. For those of you familiar with the Picross series,
okay.
This is literally the Picross devs. They're just not allowed. Picross is a trademark owned by Nintendo, so they're not allowed to call their games Picross games if they're not on Nintendo platforms. And this is their sort of first big debut Steam release, where there's this cute little wizard guy who destroyed all the magic books, and so you have to sort of doodle god elements together to make new puzzles. And that's sort of like a cute little gameplay element that ends up like more getting in the way of the Picrosses than anything else. Jupiter are phenomenal at like making Picross games. They've been doing it for years now, decades, and they've sort of turned it into a fine science. They churn out like one every year or two. It's wild, and this is no exception. Phenomenal Picross game. If you like the concept of Picross puzzles, you should check these series out. This for me is between Deltarune Chapter 3 and Demon School.
Oh, wow.
I really like Picross is like crack to me. I love Picross games. It's like I am rating this. It's probably a B tier game in all seriousness, but like I swallowed this up. Game rules. Okay, speaking of games, that rule, it's
or secretly Kirby.
Yum 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 yum. Speaking of games starring little pink things that can throw bombs, it's Ooh. Ooh is a puzzle platformer where you can't jump.
Oh, I've seen you play this.
Instead, what you do is you can poop out bombs, and those bombs knock you around in sort of like a very linear fashion. If you're below it, it will knock you up. Otherwise, it will kind of knock you to the left and knock you to the right. Very simple mechanics. That's basically it. Those mechanics are explored to their limit. Not the hardest game, though, especially some of the optional stuff like can take a bit to sort of go through. Perfect length, adorable sprite work, adorable music. Gives me the vibe of like a really solid sort of game I'd see on like Miniclip or Nitrome or those Flash games that like I played a lot of as a teen. Sort of, yeah. It's just a fantastic game. This is currently bottom of S tier for me.
Damn.
This is one of my favorite games of the year.
Looking at the trailers and stuff and remembering how you played it as well, I honestly think a lot of people who came into the chat tonight would like it. D-Tops would, Ticker would, Rob would. Honestly, Rune and Michaela, do you reckon?
I mean, I would recommend that everyone check it out. I think it'd be most people's things here. It's just, yeah, it's not going to set the world on fire, but it is exactly what it wants to be, and it does it perfectly.
Yeah.
And I really like that in a game. What do we got? We got Peak. Peak, despite its name, isn't quite Peak, but it
Yeah.
is very fun.
Peak, it goes at the peak.
No, not quite. Of the two big like co-op game, like friend swap
Yeah.
games
I'm sorry, it's
that
a
I
bad
played this
term,
year,
but it works so well.
I think that Peak is the weaker of the two. And I'll sort of get into more when we get to Repo. I think that Peak probably works better as a standalone game that Repo does. Like you could solo this if you wanted to, and I've had some fun times with it. But the random variance is a bit more difficult, and I think it's a weaker co-op game than Repo is. And so I quite like it, but I sort of suffers from me having better experiences with other games this year. As such, I would probably put it honestly behind Riddell, which is insane, but I really liked Riddell. Prue the Pigeon. Prue the Pigeon is a phenomenal little 3D platformer that was played at ASM this year, and a bunch of us got obsessed with running the first level and trying to hone the times down. Incredible movement, kind of almost like Odyssey-esque. There's like a lot of like slide jumping and stuff. Really fun game to speedrun. It's fine. It's pretty good. I know I just waxed poetic about it was sort of like being a cute, perfect little game. Prue doesn't quite mesh into that for me, but I still like it a lot. Depending on the day, it's probably high B at the moment for me. I'd put it above Anna, probably top of B.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's right. I enjoy it a lot. I don't think it's a must play for everyone, but if you really like 3D platformers, then yeah, definitely take a look.
It looks very cute. I reckon it'll probably be someone will be playing it at ASM next year, and I'll probably pick it up then.
Yeah, no, you definitely like it. I reckon. Like you're enough of a platform ahead. All right, I gotta start motoring. Sly Cutlery. This is a platformer with very sort of bizarre floaty jumps and emphasis on sort of picking up and throwing items. This is a free game made by one guy with like some obviously support over the course of like a decade. If anyone's familiar with the Mario fan game Psycho Waluigi, same guy. And sort of the same concept, just like with the Mario serial numbers filed off, and also like way bigger. It's like a 30-hour game, I think. I adore Sly Cutlery. I usually don't like item like throwing and stuff in platformers, especially 2D platformers, but this makes it work really well. It's very quirky. It's very clearly made by like one person, and it has the unified vision of someone who has thrown the kitchen sink into this project over the span of like a decade of their real last life. And there's just zero shame or anything about that. It's just so unabashedly what it is, and I really groove with that. I think it probably goes between ZA and Delta in Chapter 3 for me. It's definitely A tier. It's quite good. Repo. Repo is, if Peak is mid B, then Repo is probably bottom of A. Yeah, sure. Bottom of A. There's sort of there's a sort of pseudo tier of is this A or is this B? I don't quite know happening. Repo is a co-op horror game where you play as a bunch of repo men robots who have to scour levels for valuables to repossess whilst being chased by a bunch of monsters.
I think it's a phenomenal co-op game. The recent updates have made it so that you have a lot more you can do whilst you're dead, which is something that I think Peak struggles with. I've had multiple games of Peak where I die and I'm just kind of sitting around on my phone for like half an hour. Whereas Repo, there's way more ways for me to sort of mess with people and attempt to do things. You can kind of possess your own head after you die, which is very silly. And the activity of collectively like working towards repossessing stuff works better as a co-op game for me. So yeah, Repo, pretty good. All right, what do we got? We have. I need to look up my list of games because it's a long game name and I don't quite remember it.
I also do not remember it. Give me a sec.
That's all right. I have it here. This is Retro Mystery Club Volume 1, the Issei Shima case. So this is sort of a throwback game to like NES adventure games, in particular the Portopia serial murder case, and revolving around a dead body shows up in a park in Tokyo, and the conspiracy that sort of unveils from that. I think this was a very charming throwback to a bunch of games I've never played, but have always been kind of interested in. The plot is pretty straightforward, and it works fine for what it is. It hasn't stayed in my mind a lot since then, but I enjoyed what I played. This is middle of C, I think, between Kira Kira and Chess.
Interesting. I thought based on what you were saying, it sort of fit the B category.
It could, but it really didn't stick with me as much as I was hoping it would. No, I didn't really, because it's trying to obey the limitations of the NES. None of the characters really were given enough for me to sort of latch onto them.
No, fair enough.
Sping is another Melbourne game where you play as a shape that can latch onto grappling points. And it's almost like an auto runner, and you just use those grappling points to get from point A to point B. Speaking of B, this is between Peak and Berserk Boy. It's fun to play. It's a good like time waster. It doesn't really stick with me, but it's not really supposed to, I don't think. I enjoy it when I play it. Stories from Soul the Gundog is a adventure game with like a beautiful 90s like PC 98 mecha vibe, where you're a security officer on a spaceship when shit starts to go down. This game is gorgeous. Characters are fun, and there's like a neat little mystery plot with a really sick sequel hook at the end. It's fun if you're a fan of mecha, a fan of like 90s anime, that kind of retro vibe. Heavily recommend. This sort of apes the style whilst still feeling like a modern visual novel, and I think that kind of works in its favor. As such, this one is bottom of A for me. Speaking of bottom of A, it's Strange Jigsaws. Yeah, that's
Well,
right.
you said
For
bottom of A already.
No. Yeah, I did. It's a fun puzzle game where you play a bunch of strange jigsaw puzzles. There's a nice variety of puzzles, including some really like sweet ones where like the guy got his kid to make a jigsaw, and it's sort of like his kid is like 5, so it looks like absolute garbage, but it's like really sweet. And there's like a jigsaw puzzle that's done in like as an 80s like text adventure, so it's entirely visual based. There's no jigsaw, it's all like through written text. And it goes into silly places, and the exact perfect length for what it's trying to do. Like it's a quick little fun game that doesn't get too long in the tooth.
Hey Dan, how are you going?
Hey, it's Dan. We were just talking. Jigsaw's like not quite board games, but Strange Jigsaw's are pretty good. Super Mario Star Road. This is a mod of Super Mario 64 that sort of it's not. It's a bit harder than regular. Strange Jigsaw's pretty good. It's a bit harder than regular Mario 64, but it's really trying to sort of be a like 64-2, where it's sort of creates brand new levels that sort of have a similar vibe to the original. I think it does it really well. I played this as multiplayer with a couple others, and I think that was a really fun experience. This one is also a tier. It is above, let's say, between Demon School and Logic Grimoire. It's getting considerably more arbitrary as time goes on.
I love that it was like at the start. Demon School's going to be towards the bottom of A tier.
Kind of is. Super Mario Mon. This is one of the best Pokemon games I've ever played.
One of the best Pokemon games you've ever played. It's not a Pokemon game.
It's a Pokemon game. This is a Gen 3 ROM hack that completely changes everything. It's a brand new region set in the Mario universe. 151 new creatures that are all based on Mario enemies. And if I love anything, I love myself a funny little Mario enemy. Surprisingly good writing for a Pokemon game. Like they nail Bowser in particular. Bowser is written very similar to his like Mario RPG incarnation, and it's really was fun to read. Very well balanced. All of the Mario enemies felt like their version of like what they would be like in the Pokemon world, rather than say trying to make them feel too much like any particular Pokemon. And so I enjoy Pokemon games and Pokemon like ROM hacks in particular that make me feel like I'm rediscovering the series for the first time, where I know some things, but I'm kind of working from base principles a bit.
Yeah.
And this nails it for me. I have 2 ROM hacks on my thing, and they are just inexplicably they are together because they both have super in the name.
Well, I didn't even do that alphabetically. I just did it in the list you sent me.
Oh damn! I kind of did it alphabetically, I think. Super Mario Mon is S tier for me. It is. Oh, I do love me a Pokemon game, but 1,000 Time Resist is something special. It's probably between, I'd say third, between Chapter 4 and U.
Oh, poor
Yeah.
U.
It was fine. It was top 5 games I played this year. It's great. Super Puzzle Cat it's another puzzle game. It's a puzzle platformer where you play very short levels with this adorable cat girl, and that's basically it. It's very similar to a series of like 2000s Toho themed puzzle platformers that I liked as a kid, and so I get a weird sense of nostalgia when I'm playing this one. I like it a lot. I haven't finished it yet. I'm like 2/3 of the way through. Puzzles are starting to get a bit harder, but it's just sort of fun jumping in. Currently, this will top a B. Yeah, I like it more than Pretty Pigeon, but it's got a bit. There's some very finicky platforming in it that I think I could see irritating people. Tiny Terry's Turbo Trip. This is a
God. I remember seeing you play this in VC.
Yeah, this one I played in VC. It's a sort of like I guess a platformer where you gotta get a car to drive up the world's longest highway that goes to the stratosphere. It's a sweet little game. I liked it. It didn't stick with me as much as I thought it would, but maybe that's because I played this at the start of the year. I reckon it goes between Evil Zone and Detective Riddell and B tier. It's there. Tori Saturn. Tori is a series of 3D platformers that I think are kind of neat. Saturn is the newest and probably the best. Sort of very Sonic inspired, where the levels are kind of linear, but they're all about going fast. This one has a little plot where there's an evil Tori, which is scary. There's some phenomenal music to this one. I liked it. It's definitely B tier. It's between Riddell and Peak.
Peak is no longer peak.
No, Peak's fine. Understand. This is The Witness, but without the overworld stuff. It's line puzzles where you don't get told shit and you have to figure it out yourself. You have to understand. I've been hacking away through this recently. I enjoy it. It can be a bit annoying to try and figure out the rules, especially like in comparison to The Witness. You don't really have the context clues that you get sometimes. But it's been all right. I'll chuck it after Bonanza in B tier.
Sorry,
between Bonanza and Final Fantasy.
Sorry, my brain is starting to lose track of where they all are.
No, it's fine. We're almost done. Urban Myth Dissolution Center. I have a lot to say about this game, but it's getting late, so
No, say a lot if you need to. Or if you
No, it's not. It's not. God, no, it's not a set. This is a adventure game dealing with this center, this organization that looks into urban myths and tries to identify them. It has some issues. The English translation is a bit stilted, and the gameplay. I think it would maybe work better if you didn't like have an avatar that walked around, like it was more like a point and click interface, because it can be kind of slow to sort of go through everything at times. But the art is phenomenal. The plot starts off good and sort of slowly gets better over time, and culminates in this like frankly insane final chapter, which I'm really glad I stuck through to, because I enjoyed that quite a lot. I think if you like mystery games, this is worth looking into. For me, it is between Enna and Bonanza in B tier. It's sort of this one's a kind of like a high highs and low lows sort of thing.
Yeah.
Wilder Place is the final puzzle game of the list. It's sort of an isometric game where you're interacting with the environment, sort of pushing things around to sort of trap or re-traps nature spirits into nature. I've almost finished with it. I haven't quite gotten around to the last part because it's getting to the point where it's getting past my skill level. But I've enjoyed what I've played of it so far. And the art is really lovely. There's like no solutions online as well, so I've kind of been forced to get good, which has been pretty fun. Very similar thoughts to Understand, I think. Chuck it above Urban Myth Dissolution Center and B. Yeah, that's good.
And now the contentious game that we both sort of agree on.
All right, Mario Kart World is a game that I wish I liked more than I did. Soundtrack is incredible. The gameplay is great. I think the single player options are fantastic. I think that the sort of intermission tracks are a good idea on paper. I think that Nintendo forcing them, I can see why they would do it, but it isn't the type of Mario Kart that I enjoy. I much prefer doing laps of tracks, and I can do that, but the way that it's shoved down my throat, especially with online at the start, had killed a lot of my enthusiasm for actually playing the game. So I think this is an incredibly high quality Mario. Kart, but like if I wanted to play one online on my Switch 2, I find myself weighing up the options between this and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and that is a lot for a game that I effectively paid like what $700 for.
Yeah.
So it's hard to rate. Quality wise, this is a phenomenal game. My experiences playing with it, I sort of lost interest faster than I had hoped. I really hope this one. I really hope to revisit again in the new year with sort of a fresh eyes and sort of actually sort of dig into. As it stands, I would say, below Super Puzzle Cat in B tier, sort of second in B tier. I'd prefer playing. Yeah, I can like. I don't have problems playing it. Like I don't get overload playing it like I do with Bonanza. I would rather play it than Bonanza. But both are sort of games that I was. Yes, I've heard they updated some of the intermissions to make them more interesting.
Yeah.
And I also hope that they continue to build upon it. I think it's I think it's possible to make intermissions more interesting. And I'm also interested in jumping online now that they've changed sort of the balance, the sort of ratio of intermission to regular laps. I think if I was like, a lot of my multiplayer was like playing offline with friends where the default was sort of just like pick a level and then do intermission and then do intermission. And that felt, that would work well. But yeah, there's just a part of there's a lizard part of my brain that just loves doing laps of a race course. And that part isn't satisfied with a lot of world. And I think it's possible that it can, but I have to, I'm not sure if that's the way that Nintendo wants me to be playing the game.
Yeah.
Yes, if they're as good as the usual tracks, I'd agree with that. And there's some that I do enjoy, especially like ones where there's like hazards and the like. I like the music behind Rainbow Road. I think that Mario Kart World Rainbow Road has maybe the best Rainbow Road like music in the game. I like doing solo. That's a good point, actually. I like doing solo tracks like once in a while. Like I love Mount Wario. If every track was Mount Wario, I don't know if I would like Mount Wario as much.
I meanwhile love the new Rainbow Road, but I don't like the intermission tracks. Like when I say I prefer the laps, I think it's because the intermission tracks just feel so flat and relatively one-directional, so that it emphasizes bagging gameplay and also a lot of the cool new features like climbing on walls, cutting across like sections of the track by executing cool strategic like tricks and using the rail grinding and all that sort of stuff. There isn't much of that in the intermission tracks, and when it's there, it's just sort of like there for being there. Whereas in the actual tracks itself, it feels like these tracks were almost designed to benefit off of those directly. And that's why single run tracks like that I actually prefer. Well, single run tracks I don't mind compared to intermission tracks. But that's a me thing, that's not an Aura thing.
No, I think it's fairly accurate. And it's like, I'm curious. I haven't played much of it since they have updated those intermission tracks. I would be interested to see if they are more engaging now than when I sort of played at launch.
Yeah.
Also really curious to see what they do with the DLC that, you know, presumably is coming at some point. Like, do they just add that to the... Do they add that to the world, or is that sort of like their own independent tracks? Or
Okay, I have a question for you. anything now that the tier list is complete? Any shifts or changes you want to make?
I'm pretty. I'm pretty happy with it. If I was a bit earlier, then maybe I'd spend more time on it. But I think it's pretty accurate.
You're getting a bit sleepy as well, I'm guessing.
I'm not too sleepy, but I'm just conscious of time.
I will post that in my Discord as well. Aura's tier list. Now it's up to you. We do have some friend submitted tier lists. They haven't
I'm down
been
if you're
filled
up.
in. I'm down.
Let's go.
Okay, let me just pull them up on screen. It will not actually take me that long because I prepped this in advance.
And yeah, I'm curious to see if they would do like a intermission that has as much going on as, say, like a Mount Warrior.
It was unfortunately a little bit of invite only, Michaela. I invited, I think, 6 people to send it through, and 5 people sent through their tier lists. So the first one we've got is from, oh my god, it did not crop as well as I was hoping, but it's fine. I can fix that.
I see Chance of Senna in here, so this is presumably Rob's.
No, this is not. This is Bamford.
Oh, true. Yeah, Rob didn't play like half these games.
So we've got S tier. We've got Silksong.
What the fuck is Spider Fox?
Yeah, that was that was the thing Detox was mentioning at the start. So let me read out the BAM one because some of these games you might not know. Okay, so the full list was where is it? Here it is. So the Silksong tier was Silksong.
Makes sense.
In S tier, we've got God of War 2018. We've got God of War Ragnarok and Hades 2, rounding out the S tier. Yeah, it's BAM's one. In A plus tier, we've got Talos Principle 2, Split Fiction, and Nine Souls. All absurdly good games from everything I've been told about them.
Yeah, that's solid.
Chance of Sinar. Yes, I don't know anything about that game. In A tier, we have South of Midnight, Ender Magnolia. Heard great things about Ender Magnolia. Chance of Sinar. Do you know anything about that game? Because I'd never heard of it before.
Rob really likes it. It's like, yeah, it's like a puzzle game where the gimmick is that like you have to like learn the language or something. I know very little about it other than it's pretty good, and Rob keeps telling me to play it.
Well, that might be a good one to wishlist for people then if you're into a sort of like unique puzzle game. Get you on call. Do we get Rob in here?
I think it would be funny.
You're not sure. How do I add him to a call that's just me and you? Let me try this.
If as long as they're a friend, I think you can add it to a group call.
Okay.
I would heavily recommend, even if you don't make a tier list for it, Dan, like just sort of like making like a list in Notepad or something. Because I've been doing that with the manga I've read, because I've read way too much manga this year. And like, yeah, that is like 100 titles or something. And like, I'm never turning that into a tier list, but it's fun to just sort of like sit. I like sitting back and sort of reflecting on what I've read and sort of mentally sorting it out.
I think I have to create a new DM and then add, because otherwise I add Rob and Rob sees our whole conversation history.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
Wait. My hidden VC in Discord.
Yeah, we can do that.
I'm just switching to that now. Hello.
Hello. I'm here now.
Yay. And then I'll share
Now,
screen again so
question.
you can see.
Did that kill your stream?
What do you mean? Does that kill my stream?
I don't know. Does I suppose you're still on Discord, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Do you
fine.
mean the aura? No, the aura thing is just linked to whatever voice call I'm in.
Oh no, I meant like as in like the screen share.
Oh, it did, but then I just started up again.
Okay. Well, D's saying stream frozen, so
Stream frozen. No, what? Hello. Stream is not frozen. Yeah.
Detox. One of them was indeed One Piece. I read the entirety of One Piece in about a year, starting like September, and got like I finished it. I caught up to date coming home from ASM.
Is that what you were reading?
Yeah,
in the
no,
car?
One Piece is my third favorite manga that I started this year, or that I quote unquote like read a shit ton of this year. Almost purely because I also finally finished Yokohama Shopping Log, which might be my favorite manga of all time, if not like top 3. Like, I just read multiple 10 out of 10 manga this year. It was insane.
Rob is not in my server. Fuck's sake.
Yeah, it's your server. You
Why
have
is that?
the power.
Oh, I just realized I never opened
You
K
killed the
through
bot?
I didn't open my bot.
Oh my god.
This is the problem with having my own bot. I have to open it at the start of stream. Come on, stupid bot, turn on. Yes, there's a syntax error because you don't like how I formatted this.
Yeah, I started logging manga
Okay, there we
because
go.
it's pretty easy to do on the places I read it.
Yeah.
And that's I found that to be fun. I'm trying to keep up a backlog for games as well, but that's fallen by the wayside a bit.
Yeah. Okay. We'll go back to this if Rob wants to join and rant about Chants of Senna, he can. The link is in the.
Also remember Rob's.
Oh, Rob's on YouTube. Damn it!
Which Rob's on YouTube.
I'm looking at the multi-chat, so I'm just like, yes, Rob can see it.
This is so funny.
There's the link.
For people in Twitch chat, Rob said, all I wanted to say was Chants of Senna is a really great puzzle game, learning and translating made-up languages. It really makes you feel so smart when you decipher things. Kind of gives me like another game that I really need to play, and Rob's going to get mad at me that I haven't played it yet, is Tunic, where you kind of have to decipher things because it's in a language that you don't understand.
I also need to really play Ender Magnolia.
I love Ender Lilies, and I own Ender Magnolia, and I haven't started it yet.
I want to play them both. And yeah, Deetops had a very interesting Tunic experience because he played it in VC and then was struggling and whinging, and then asking to be backseated, and then got mad about being backseated. Then Bam finished.
What else we got on here?
Bam finished the A tier with Rift to the Necrodancer, and this was a game he told me about towards the start of the year and was very excited about. It was Rob joined.
Let's go, Rob.
Okay, I'll drag him in. Hi, Rob.
Yeah, hi, Rob.
Hello.
Oh,
hello.
I'll probably wait. I'll probably wait till it's my turn.
Okay.
But
that's good so funny.
you already read the message I mentioned already.
Yeah, Chants of Senna. That's good.
Yeah. Also, this is a bit weird. I got a 2-second latency, so I can hear the stream echo. Oh my god.
That's YouTube latency for you, unfortunately.
Jesus.
Just watch the Discord screen.
Hold on, I'm gonna mute the fuck.
Also,
All right, there we go.
The last game on Bam.
There are simultaneously never always room for more good games, and yet also way too many games for me to play. It's the struggle.
Bam wrapped up the A tier with Little Rocket Lab. I don't remember too much about this game, but he was giving huge recommendations for it at the start of the year, and for it to finish in A tier despite it being like apparently incredibly niche and very indie, seems like a very good outcome.
This was great.
He was looking
cool.
forward to it for the whole year, and even like at the start of the year recommended to me, maybe draft it in Fantasy Critic. I don't think anybody will even think about it, and I reckon it'll probably score decently. But I think it was unscored in the end because a bit too niche.
This is the exact kind of game I love hearing about, where it's like someone has been waiting for this game for forever, and then it drops, and like it's so under the, like one person has heard about this game and loves it and wants to share about with others, and it's like, yes, please. Because how else am I going to hear about it if it's not that one person talking about it?
Yeah, exactly. Actually, if it's on Steam, I'll add it to my wish list now.
I've just added it on now. Yeah, look, it looks great.
Nice. Oh, it's on a temporary sale at the moment. Then BAM in B tier had Constance, another great game I've heard good things about, but I've also heard, unfortunately, its launch has been a little bit rocky on the optimization style of things. It's a little bit buggy. Shut up, Detox.
And also it has to go up against the
Silk Song.
other really good platforming game that that little game called Silk Song, you know? Just,
Yeah.
You finished Silk Song before Constance even was announced.
yeah.
You're fine.
Then next was Brave Escape, Doom Dark Ages, Mudborn, which I know literally nothing about, and then similarly, BAM also placed Peak a little bit low down, and Megabonk to wrap it up, which is a reverse bullet hell that I've heard a lot of good things about. And I got some people who are very hooked on Megabonk, hooked on Holocure.
It's a gateway drug.
Now to talk very briefly about the two games that are below that. Bigfoot Life is, in my opinion, not a great game. And I think BAM
Why?
probably agrees with it.
Why did Bam? Why did you subject yourself to this?
I think he 100%ed it as well.
Okay.
He also, I think, started to learn the any percent speedrun route and went, oh, this is not great.
Is it that didn't come out in 2020?
It did. It came out this year. It came out this year.
Oh my god! Oh my god! That's crazy.
We all found out about Bigfoot Life from Spider Fox, which was the developer's first game.
Oh god!
So they made Spider Fox and then made Bigfoot Live after it. And Spider Fox is just a cursed platforming game. You play as a fox head on a spider body, and you just run and platform around.
I'm scared. I'm horrified. What?
I think BAM wanted to learn the speedrun for this just for shits and giggles, and then it was so unenjoyable that he stops. Which is a rare thing for BAM to stop routing something. Yeah.
I will say, I'll give Spider Fox this. I searched up the word Spider Fox, and like I got 6 images in before I got any fox that is Spider-Man. There were like 6 images of the game Spider Fox before the first fox dressed up as Spider-Man, and that is an achievement. In the era where SEO is dead, they have managed to make their mark.
That wraps up BAM's list. Next is Detops's list. And I think he liked Expedition 33.
Jesus, that's a solid S tier.
Hey, Transistor.
That's an incredible S tier.
Detops has a bit of a trend that we have a bit of fun, that we poke a little bit of fun with him about. He doesn't like to play games that score 80 or below, that score below 80 on Metacritic. So already he's usually picking from the cream of the crop in terms of games.
And yet he played Turnip Boy. That's surprising.
Yeah, I think there was just one night in VC, someone recommended the first Turn Up Boy game to him, and he enjoyed it enough to give the second one a shot. Not enough time to play mid,
Yeah.
apparently.
Look, I don't have enough time to play all my games, so I can't disagree, even though I kind of do. But also, yeah, I get it.
And the other games wrapping up. So Transistor Detox has been recommending strongly to us constantly ever since he finished it. So it must be a very good game. And I think you're agreeing with that, Rob, based on your reaction.
Yeah.
And then Detox rounds out the A tier with a solid Balatro, Yote, Silksong, and Indiana Jones. And I was surprised. Yeah, you always ignore my recommendations. Despite them actually being good, because I don't recommend games that I don't think you'll enjoy. I specifically anti-recommend games that I liked that I know you won't. But yeah, Balatro, you were addicted for so long. You gave it like 2 hours. You gave Wario Land for like 2 hours, mate.
That's like half the game.
No, it wasn't. But yeah, you got addicted to Balatro for a while, so I can see why that's up high in your A tier. Same with Ghost of Yotei, you put a lot of hours into that, and heck, it arguably was snubbed a little bit at the Game of the Year nominations, but also there were so many good games that something was going to get snubbed.
Any other year, it would have gotten a nom, but this year was just impossible.
Yeah. And then Silksong, because I know you didn't quite have as good of an experience with the game as the rest of us, it was like your experience with Silksong was sort of like you were on that border as well. You were on that border with the game, with that sort of like skill acceptability level I was talking about, where like you were a little bit below and I was a little bit above. So for me, it was like incredible game, perfect difficulty. But for you, it was just that like tiny bit too hard in the late game that it felt unfun and unenjoyable to push through, which is entirely fair. Yeah, first 30 hours S tier, so like the first good chunk of the game must have been BioWater.
Good thing there's no water in the DLC whatsoever.
See you. Oh god. And then Indiana Jones. I've heard a lot of good things about this game. I've only seen like 5 minutes of actual gameplay though, but it seemed polished, it seemed fun, it seemed relatively intuitive. So I can definitely see why you'd rank it that high. I didn't know you'd played Watch Dogs 2 for the first time this year. It's a series I've heard lots of good things about from Ajani, and you guys as well, Aura and Rob. But I don't
Heck yeah.
never really played it myself. Apotheon was always good bait in the VC. You would always bait Ticker by saying the name incorrectly, and he would rage at you for like 5 minutes. And then Super Mario 3D World. I will clarify what Detox said, but I've placed it here because this is where it was placed in the tier list. Mario 3D World, the main story, the any percent, it would be A tier. But him grinding through to get the 100%, that was a D tier experience. Which,
Oh god. Oh god.
yeah, which makes sense because
Yeah,
I know
no,
it's a
yeah,
hard
that's fair.
100%.
That's not. I've only played the Wii U version. I'm not sure if it's better or worse than the Switch version, but like, yeah, that's a game that I was satisfied. I got a decent way through. I didn't get 100%. I like did what I could, and then it was like, that's fine.
It's like I get where you're coming from with that. I think it's a similar problem with that Sunshine has. It's for me, and for a lot of people, it's not that bad to any percent. A lot of the standard levels are quite fun, but trying to grind out all those blue coins with no like way to track how you're going with it is just so unfun and so daunting as a task. Yeah. And then the C tier, Turnip Boy robbing a bank, Prince of Persia Lost Crown, Beyond Two Souls, Helltaker, which I'm really surprised you played. It doesn't look like your sort of game. And then the Order 1886, which makes a bit of sense. I got spammed with so many ads when that game came out, and then everything I heard about it was just mid. It was a 1 hour puzzle game. Huh. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Yeah. That was the unfortunate thing, because all the ads I saw, it looked interesting, and then everybody I had played it was just like, maybe pass on it. And I'm like, oh, damn.
Yeah, I literally all I've heard about it is that like people saying it's a bit mid, and it's like, okay, that's a bit sad.
Yeah. All right. So that was D-Tops' one. Next is someone else's in this VC's tier list.
Oh,
This is Rob's.
this is definitely Rob.
Oh my
100%.
god.
So would you like to explain your tier list since you're here?
Uh, I mean, it's kind of as descriptive as I put it in the categories.
What is Great
So-
God Growth?
Oh, okay. So we can start with the okay games. Games that are just like they're all right. I played them a bit just like to pass time when I didn't really feel like doing anything else. Wilmot's really good for that kind of thing. It's a game where you solve a puzzle in a game, an actual jigsaw puzzle,
Oh.
and and you just do that continuously until you beat the game, and then that's it. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, it's very simple. So I put that as like my benchmark, and everything higher than it are just really nice games in general. Great God Grove was a really nice game in terms of its design. The mechanics were interesting. The only issue is that I wish they explored the mechanics more. So just as a sense on how you play, your character gets a little like device where you suck in people's text boxes, and then you can fire those text boxes out to answer other people's questions and solve puzzles.
Oh.
So you can suck in, for example, someone says, it's a chilly day tomorrow, and you suck that in, and then you go to someone else and like, man, I hope I'm wearing the right thing to go out, and I hope I don't get sunburn or whatever, and you just fire that out, and like, oh, it was actually cold. It's actually cold tomorrow. Okay, I'm good. And it's simple like that. I just wish it had more. That's my main concern with that game.
We've got
But characters are really good, fantastic.
we've got someone asking your thoughts on Cocoon. They said that other people that have told them about the game have said it's amazing.
I also agree. I just put it down a little bit as once I got through all of it and I got through the extra stuff. Ooh. After that, it was like, oh, okay, I'm done with it. I don't feel like coming back to it. It was great when I played it, and then that's it. I don't think about it too often. It's just a game it's a puzzle game that I played and enjoyed, and then that was it.
So sort of that limited replayability aspect.
It doesn't have that much replayability, in my opinion. That's why actually that helps define a lot of the games in B tier as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love Chances in R in terms of what it provided. But after doing everything in it, I don't have any reason to go back or replay it. Like it was a fun experience, and then that was it. Yeah.
You can see the chat on my stream, can't you?
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sort of
Yeah, no,
similar to
that's
you,
fair.
Digitops.
I'm yeah, no, I agree. I'm just more of the I'm the kind of person that has a very short attention span, I guess. I don't know. But I like to devote myself to a game fully, and then I guess that kind of burns me out of it after I've done everything I could do in that. If I can explain it as well as that, yeah.
Oh yeah, you sort of want to be able to immerse yourself fully into a game and experience it for not just necessarily the play cycle, but for a period of time. And
Yeah, I tend to do that, and then as much of it as I can within a short period of time, because I tend to beat games really quickly, as well. And then yeah, and then it's done, and then I'm like, oh, I need something else.
need to move on.
I
to
know
the
my
next
outlook's
game.
different, was way different, but anyways, yeah, just moving on from that.
I think I see it though, because like I look at yeah, like the games you have in A tier, and those are games that I recall you like really latching onto, like sort of like lasting with you.
Yeah, for great games, it's a lot that they just keep me thinking about them after I've played them, after I've like gone through it many times. That sense of replayability really comes through in some of the games in A. Not really for Off, but for like Rime and Crypt Custodian, definitely. Rivals in a sense as well, except I haven't been playing it as often. Because
Rivals wants you to
Rivals
replay
is
it
very
over and over and over and over again. Doesn't want to let you go.
Yeah.
No, yeah, but it also depends on the kind of people you play with. That's the kind of game that really changes tiers depending on who you're with. Not to throw shade.
People be toxic out there.
Yeah,
Rivals is so funny to me because like
I love
Overwatch,
Marvel.
Overwatch was this big phenomenon, and then Blizzard kind of beefed it with Overwatch 2, and then just out of nowhere, here's this like hero shooter competitor that just completely slips the market share for a moment. It's just like, dang. People still want it. People still want hero shooters.
I will say with the other three games in A tier, they really invoked a very emotional response from me in different ways. I can't really describe that without going into the game itself. I just recommend you play like Crypt, Rime, and Off on your own. Off really has that influence of it really makes you think about it way after you've played it in terms of the themes that it projects and like the ideas it tries to explore. I can understand why Toby Fox was inspired by that and made Undertale as a result. It's sometimes it's hard to put a finger on it, and I don't want to like go in too much without it. I just recommend you play it first. Yeah.
Anyone who enjoys Undertale or Deltarune or any of the sort of like Earthboundy indie RPGs, definitely owes. It's definitely worth checking out. Off. And you played the like this year's like not quite a remake, but like a remastered, updated version of it, right?
Yeah. So the one I completed this year was the remaster. Now there is some discord about the changes in terms of the music, and I can understand it, but honestly, I kind of see it as a 2K situation where I'm like, hell yeah, I have more music now. I can listen to more tracks. It's crazy. I get Toby Fox tracks, and I get previous guy's tracks. His name is escaping my brain. Oh my goodness.
Modest Ghost is the dev. I don't know if it was the composer. Was he the composer as well?
What was it called?
Alias
Conrad. Yes, Conrad. Yeah. No. I appreciate Pepper Steak. I do like the battle themes in the new version of Off. especially the second White Rot track. That's really good.
Hmm.
And then there was a name of one more track. But anyways, it's just great. I just get more things to listen to as well, so and I can put it in my music quizzes as well.
Heck yeah.
Okay, so time to just start guessing off for every game.
Oh, well,
guessing
I mean,
Silk Song
you
for
can
every
really
game.
you can really tell which one is off. There is one track I just wanted to talk about for off that was like, you know what, we can't really get, all the rights, or just because you can't remember all the samples or all the rights to the previous samples for the game that were used in the soundtrack. There's a track in the new off called Chosen Anew, where to best describe it, it's like a fighting back and forth between like Conrad's style of music and Toby Fox's, and it has samples taken from Pepper Steak in it as well, as it goes back and forth between, and it really feels like a great like track for its specific battle theme as well.
That's really sick.
Yeah.
I do love how they just like, all right, Pepper Steak is probably the most iconic thing about Off. We don't have the rights to it. Let's
then they
call up
just-
Toby Fox.
Yeah. And they played it safe. They sampled a bit that didn't really come from a sample. That was just made originally, so that was good as well.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, Silk Song is Silk Song. Absolutely amazing game. I'm glad I waited so long and my waiting paid off and it was good. And I just enjoy it as a difficult game in general. I just appreciate that. I know a lot of people don't like to retry games too many times. Like they get angry, having to redo the same thing, especially with some really bad runbacks in terms of
Yeah.
like. Oh, actually, I'll say nothing. There's some really bad like
I mean,
points where you have to.
I'll say it.
Yeah.
Bottled water.
Oh no, but I'm thinking of the
Oh,
not
Last
Sands of
Judge.
Correct. Two Last Judge.
Yeah, Blasted Steps. That one's rough
Yeah,
as well.
that one's rough, but as I kept dying and I kept going, I smoothened out my like how I traversed that area. So I kind of improved in terms of my parkouring, because it kind of tests both that and your combat skills with that boss as well.
Yeah.
Like I learned to be patient. I learned to look at animation cues. I tend to be a very rush down kind of playstyle person. So this really like helped me change and improve on my repertoire of gaming skills.
Whereas Last Judge just solidified to me that Wanderer's Crest was my go-to.
Oh man. I only started using Wanderers after all of that. Like I jump like really, really late game. I'm like, you know what? I need to be faster. I have to be faster. I'm not gonna get any, otherwise I'm gonna just take hits and not hit back.
I love how so far we've got Silk Song as S tier, and was S tier for the first 30 hours of the game. I feel like Silk Song might be a good game, guys. I don't know.
No.
Great game. Greatest game. I don't know.
Well,
But yeah, for those who haven't played it, play it. It's good.
I'm working on it.
it's
You
not
won't
Expedition-
be
Expedition
disappointed,
30.
and you might be
Expedition-
disappointed.
Expedition 33 hasn't been lower than S tier so far, so
Well, there's only been one
Checkmate.
person who's played it so far on this.
I mean, Oo also hasn't been lower than S tier so far, so
So
maybe
I
Oo
might-
should have gotten a Game of the Year nomination.
Nier
might
and
pick it up
Yakuza
next year,
haven't
yeah.
been either.
Maybe Super Mario Bond should have gotten a Game of the Year. No, they
No,
tried.
that
They
would
did
have led
once.
to
It
a
didn't-
lot of problems.
They did that once and it didn't end well.
Let's check out the next tier list.
There you go.
Ah, yes, this is Ponder's one.
I was going to say, this looks like a Ponder game. This looks like a Ponder
Oh
list.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Pokemon Odyssey. This is Ponder list.
Yeah, let me read the games because I didn't recognize them all, so I asked Ponder to send me it. Ah, yes.
It's Anna, baby!
And Anna, it was the S tier for Ponder.
And it's so good.
After that, it was Pseudo Regalia, also 100x resists, or 100 times resist, whatever it was called.
It's 1,000 times resist.
Oh, sorry, fine.
I actually don't know if the X is silent or not, but it's definitely 1,000 and not 100.
Yes, I realized. I'm sorry. Then Elden Ring. I'm surprised. I'm surprised this was the year Ponder played it. I thought he played it back in like 2024.
I thought he definitely got it in 2024. So I thought he played it back then. He might have just done he may have done a run back.
Hmm. Maybe, yeah. Or maybe like with some of the DLC, it's stuff that came out this year too, Night Rain. Then Pokemon Odyssey. That's that fan-made game that I'm following on Twitter now, thanks to you, isn't it? Where they're like releasing the
Yes.
updates. I gotta give that a try.
I didn't put it on my list because I'm only up to I've only played like 10 hours. It's a long. It's like a comprehensive game. You know how I said Super Mario Mon is the best Pokemon, like one of the best Pokemon games I've ever played.
Yeah.
It has been a phenomenal year for Pokemon ROM hacks. I would say that I've played a couple of them, and I would say that like at least 3 of them are among my favorite Pokemon games. Pokemon Odyssey is another one of those. It's a lot, especially the difficulty I'm playing, is a lot harder than a regular Pokemon game. But I'm enjoying the challenge. It's been pretty good.
Yeah. Then next had Zenless Zone Zero.
Fucking Zenless.
I wonder why Ponder likes this game so much. It's almost like he's a bit addicted to it, like some people are with Marvel Rivals.
It's his dailies game at the moment.
It looks really stunning. Like whenever I peek in on the Discord stream, it like visually it's incredible.
It's definitely my favorite of the MiHoYo games visually.
And then Axiom Verge. I've heard great things about this. I think I tried it back when it was free on Epic because it was the first ever like Epic freebie. But oh, sorry, it was the second one. Super Meat Boy was the first one. But this was before I played Hollow Knight, and I didn't quite get the concept of a Metroidvania because I'd never played one before Hollow Knight, and I was a bit mid at the time, but I think I'd probably enjoy it a lot more going back to it.
Axiom Verge is really good. Yeah, no, I enjoy Axiom Verge a lot. I haven't gotten around to playing 2 yet, but I really should.
And then All the Mods 10, that's Minecraft, the modded pack Ponder usually plays, right?
Yeah, I think might be his second most played game of the year in terms of sheer time, behind Zenless.
That makes sense.
But yeah, he's been playing a lot of that recently as well, and he really likes. It's like one of those ones that has like puts in a ton of extra complexity that he really agrees with.
Yeah. Then it's Dredge in starting off with the solid stuff tier, which I haven't heard of before. Have you heard of it, Aura?
I own it, but haven't started it yet. It's you play as a ship, like a little fishing ship that kind of finds itself in a quaint ship, fishing village where there's weird things happening, and then you sort of unearthing like mutated fish and stuff, and it's all a bit spooky.
Interesting. Oh, I just realized, thanks to Ponder's list, that I was quoting the wrong Rune Factory game.
Whoops.
It was Rune Factory 4 I finished this year, and that was a completely different experience.
Oh, because he has Rune Factory 3?
Yeah, no, he's got Rune Factory 4 on here as well, and it's the same art.
I getcha.
Peak makes sense. We did talk a lot about Peak, and it seems Ponder has similar thoughts to it, though considered it solid stuff, but like we both considered it solid stuff in a way too.
It's good. It's good.
Talos Principle 2. A little bit lower than where I think Detops had it, but still pretty... Oh no, that was BAM, sorry. But still pretty high up. You've heard great things about it, I'm guessing, as well, Aura?
Yeah, I mean, Talos Principle 1's a classic, and 2 sort of keeps it going and sort of continues that hot streak.
Rune Factory 4. That one forces the farming a bit more, I noticed. I still inevitably just pushed the JRPG and finished. But I did. I was a bit more mixed on this one on how it introduced the upgrade system, because the upgrade system you've got to do side quests, but an issue, not so much an issue, but it's a design choice by Rune Factory, is that you can only do like one quest per day.
Oh, okay. So it's a bit, yeah, it kind of forces you to do a bit more farming then.
Yeah, and like slowly unlock all of the various tools and capabilities you can do on your farm and in the JRPG sections, which is like meh, because I think if you want to explore different aspects of the farming, you shouldn't be limited to like once a day. Especially if like
Yeah.
you get a few days of stuff that you're not necessarily vibing with, and the thing you are vibing with, you have to wait.
Yeah, that's always a horrible feeling.
But
So
also,
you're almost punished for exploring, you know?
yeah. But I can also see that it's trying to counteract a little bit of the Rune Factory 3 where you can just blitz to the end without like doing anything.
Yeah. Well, maybe an overcorrection.
Maybe, yeah. Well, I've got the new Rune Factory. I can see what that's like.
True.
Then Ponder's got Oddsworld Stranger's Wrath, which I've never heard of, honestly.
I know the series. I'm unfamiliar with a particular game.
And
I've
then
heard good things.
Grim Fandango.
Fandango. Grim Fandango is peak.
It's
It's
peak.
good. It's a good game.
But Peak was a
it's
few
good game.
spots
It's a good
earlier.
game. Nah, it's a good game. It's the same tier as Peak, right?
Yeah, it's true. It is the same tier as Peak. They're both Peak.
Sort of. I think it's the. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's the final of the classic LucasArts games. If not, then like one of the very last ones.
Damn.
Sort of like the same lineage as like Monkey Island and Day of the Tentacle and the OG Sam & Max and all that.
Detops apparently agrees with Ponder's placing of Bioshock, which is that it's solid stuff, but maybe not incredible, or I might be misinterpreting that.
I really need to play Bioshock because I'm very curious to form my own opinions about it. It's probably my take on it.
I think I rage baited Cass once because Cass was talking about Bioshock and it was like, oh, people should really give it a try. It's worth giving a shot. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I've got the whole like Bioshock collection. I've had it for like 5-6 years. It's just still in its plastic in my drawers. I've never on my shelf. I've never touched it. And he's just like, what? And I'm like, it didn't look that appealing to me. So I just, it's just sit on the shelf. There have been other games.
So it's like when you're listing your PS2 games,
Yeah.
and it's just like, oh yeah, Resident Evil 4,
And then I went,
Silent
oh,
Hill
Grim Grimoire.
2. Like, you Grim Grimoire, and I'm like, I would.
I had more. I played a lot more of Grim Grimoire than any of those horror games.
That's fair. I really need to get around to playing Grim Grimoire.
And by playing a lot of Grim Grimoire, I meant I played like 2 hours of Grim Grimoire.
Hey, it's more than me, so I can't say shit.
Then Death's Door, which I think Rob was the one who recommended that to Ponder.
Yes.
Hell yeah. It was really good, and I'm glad other people enjoy it too.
I think I've actually got it on Steam. Did you gift it to me, or did I just pick it up randomly somewhere?
Yes, I did. I gifted it to you, and you haven't played it yet. You need to play it.
That does sound like a game that Rob would give to people.
Rob, I've got so many other games to play. I've still got to eventually do Sea of Stars True Ending.
Oh my god! All right, fair enough.
Oh, hey JPEG. Oh, you loved this game as a kid? You loved Death's Door as a kid?
Damn. Wait, when did Death's Door come out?
I don't know. Oh, yes. Let me look at when it came out.
A couple years ago.
Oh, JPEG.
2021.
Oh, JPEG, you better be careful. JPEG, you better be careful saying that. Remember, Australia's got the new social media laws. Twitch might think you're underage if you say too many jokes like that.
It's all right. You got to January 9th apparently. So you're good for a couple more weeks. My favorite form of social media, Twitch.
Reddit. I love how they missed those originally and then added them at the very end.
Did they add Twitch?
Yeah, they
I
added
thought
Twitch.
this was just. Oh, okay.
They added Twitch like 2 days before the law came into place, like on December 8th.
Oh, that's really annoying.
Because they discovered that they missed it, because they've learned what Twitch was.
Yeah, no one knew what. None of them had heard of Twitch before.
Just got here, can we go through everything again? No. I posted the auras and mine in Discord, and let's be honest, you can just scroll back on the Twitch VOD or the YouTube VOD. Which
All right, gotta say, can I recap Ponders in vague rap form?
Yeah, sure.
All right, we got. I'm not gonna wrap it.
Thanks.
For those who have literally just joined, we're going through our friend Ponder's games that they played this year. My personal fave was Ponder's personal fave was Anna Dream Barbecue Chapter 1. It's a pretty good game. Incredible was Pseudo Regalia, 1,000 Times Resist, Elden Ring, Pokemon Odyssey, Zenless Zone Zero, Axiom Verge, and the Overmods 10 mod pack for Minecraft. We're currently on solid stuff, and we've gone through Dredge, Peak, the Talos Principle 2, that is Rune Factory 4.
Yeah.
Oddworld Stranger's Wrath HD, Grim Fandango, Bioshock, and we're at Death's Door.
We're probably wrapped up with that now.
The music's really
Pretty much.
nice in the game too. Oh my god.
Which means next up, speaking of games with a sick music.
Yes.
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 Cyberpunk. I've never heard of that game before.
Oh
Uh,
my goodness.
Have you played Lethal League with us?
No.
Have you
before-
played Jet
okay.
Set Radio?
It's basically someone was like, they're never making a new Jet Set Radio. I'm gonna make a new Jet Set Radio. And then they did.
And they did.
I still got to play
It's
Jet
pretty-
Set
it's pretty-
Radio.
Yeah, it's a neat game. The aesthetics are on point. I think that's fairly. That's about where I would put it.
And it has a great modding community too.
Oh.
True, they've just modded because it's like on PC and just modded in a bunch of random like ass characters.
You
Just,
can
like,
put
doing
Barbie
rail
in the
grinding
game.
and shit.
Wait.
Rail grinding Barbie.
That mod is amazing. It comes with a custom soundtrack as well.
Oh my god. Of course it does. And then Ponder wrapped up the solid stuff with the Star Road mod that you both played at the start of the year.
Heck yeah! Can't believe Rob didn't put it on his list
I know, right?
because I'm pretty sure he played it with us.
I think
Which
you
one
did.
was? Oh, that's true.
Super Mario Star Road. Yeah.
Ah, I will put it
Star Road's good.
in bottom of A.
Hey.
Already talked about Star Road. It's pretty good. I heavily
Wonderful.
recommend that people do try out Super Mario 64 multiplayer because it's fun.
And then
But legally, I don't recommend you do it because
modding
it's
is bad
not
and
legal.
evil.
You can be key.
But wink.
Ah!
My puppet can't wink, so I just have to say the word wink.
Nah, sorry, I don't winking thing functionality on your reactor.
No, this is more than fine.
Yeah.
Closes one eyelid.
And then on the nice enough tier, there is Cavern of Dream, which I think you've played, Aura.
I haven't. I think it's on my wish list.
Ah,
It looks neat. I saw Ponder play it and was like, yeah, this looks fun.
there's then Going Under.
That one I have played. I'm not a big roguelike fan, and it didn't really click with me. Rob liked it, I think.
Oh well, yeah, I got it for Ponder. So
Ah,
it's a very nice game to introduce people to roguelikes.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
It's a good entry point for roguelikes. Also, it's very charming, nice aesthetic. Also, it's $3 now on sale right now in Steam.
Yeah.
Get it for $3.
And the devs were like ended up making Peak, so you
Yeah,
know,
they made Peak.
it's really funny
Oh,
that they're
no.
like vertically right next to each other.
The first game was about a failing company, and now they're not.
Oh my god. Wait, why can't I add it to my wish list? Oh, it's in my library. You already
Yeah, 'cause
gifted
I
it to me, Rob.
Marcus, I got this for you. You
Yeah,
gotta
I
play
just
it in the-
realized you gifted it to me.
Wait, did you just gift it to him now?
No,
No. It doesn't.
Okay, that would have been insane.
I
Doesn't
went to-
play any of the games I buy him.
because I've got too many other games to play.
Oh my god.
I'll play them all eventually. I've still got to play Bug Fables after all these years.
Man.
And then Ponder wrapped up the nice enough tier with Tiny Tina's Wonderland.
Don't forget Affordable Space Adventures.
Oh yes, sorry. Affordable Space Adventures was there as well, just before it.
Probably the only game that will ever stay locked to the Wii U.
Oh really?
It's like I bought it just before the eShop closed, but I haven't played it yet. It's like reliant on the gamepad to the point where I
Oh.
don't think it would work outside of it. So it's like very unlikely to be ported.
Hmm.
It looks neat.
Okay, now we're at Tiny Tina's Wonderland. I know nothing about this game.
I mean, it's this is the one that's not the DLC for Borderlands 2, but a full-fledged like separate game.
Oh.
But it's part of the it's a Borderlands game. That I think this one came out a couple years ago and was like middling reviews.
Oh, it's a bit of a
That's
shame with
fine,
it.
If Ponder's put it nice enough, that's pretty damning.
Yeah. True, Dan. More
Just-
Nintendo Land.
True, Nintendo Land also probably Wii U locked. It is cool that like there's a small handful of games that really leveraged the Wii U gamepad, and that's cool. But yeah, also as the Wii U becomes more vanishingly hard to access, it sort of makes those games harder to access, which is sad. But it's good that they existed in the first place.
Yeah. Alright, last two games for Ponders, we've got Evoland and Sir Whoopass Immortal Death. I've heard of Evoland. I think I've actually bought it, but I just haven't gotten around to playing it. I mean,
Eve,
have you played them?
no, I remember. I think you were in chat when we were doing that Sporkle like list the indie games quiz, and there was that one that came up that we were both like, "Oh, this looks kind of interesting," and then it ended up being Evoland, and I looked it up, and I'm like, "Oh, it's Evoland."
Oh,
I don't know. I'm sure it's fine. It comes up every now and then, and I look at it and I go like, "This could be interesting," but I don't think it's for me. Sir Pass I have seen because I saw Ponder stream it, and yeah, that seems about right.
it's just meh.
It's a haha funny game,
Yeah.
and entirely, your enjoyment of the game entirely revolves around A, if you find it funny in the first place, and B, not getting tired of the humor,
Yeah.
because it doesn't have a lot more to offer than that.
Oh. Well, that wraps up Ponder's tier list. Thank you, Ponder, for sending that in. And the last tier list we have is from Ticker SR.
Let's go.
I'm just going to make it.
Oh, my
make it
heart,
fit
no!
everything. Yeah, I thought you would get hurt by Grace.
Oh, it's fine.
No!
It's fine. I understand. It's not for everyone.
For reference, Ticker did give additional descriptors for each of the tier lists to explain like what they represent. S is favorite game contenders. So like
That's a
favorite game of
solid
all
list.
time. A was great experience. B was standout in some areas, flawed in others. C was enjoyable but flawed, and D was acceptable but wouldn't play it again.
That's completely fair, especially if the qualifier is like, I'm not interested in playing it again. Yeah, Gree is a very one and done for me.
Yeah, I've heard it doesn't have a lot of replayability.
I enjoyed it, but yeah, I get it.
Oh man.
Now I think we've unironically talked about every game in the S tier already.
Not Astro. This is Astrobot's first appearance.
No, but
but
we
otherwise,
talked,
yeah.
but we talked about Astrobot inevitably.
Oh yeah, we did talk about Astro, didn't we?
When we were talking about Silk
Okay,
Song.
but we skipped Hades. We did skip Hades.
Yeah,
we did
no,
skip
yes,
over
we never
Hades
we
last
never
time.
spoke about Hades actually.
I'm terrible at Hades. I still haven't finished Hades 1. I've tried to beat it this year again in preparation for Hades 2, and I just got my shit stomped. That's one I just have to push through because I really liked. But I haven't started Hades 2 yet because I haven't finished Hades 1.
Nah, I keep getting recommended by all of the Shah runners. Case in point to them in the piece in the chat right now. I've been told by them all to play it, but it takes time, and I'm a bit nervous. I don't want to pick up that as my first roguelike because I might not gel with roguelikes initially. And
I think it's a good first roguelike because there's a lot of story behind it. There's a lot of continuous progression, and there's also just like the god mode, which like just flat out boosts your power whenever you die if you want to turn that on.
Oh.
So it's like there's a lot of safety. There's a lot of ways you can configure it to make it the like randomness of a roguelike and the repetition of a roguelike less of a problem.
I'll shush D-Tops.
No, I'm with D-Tops in this one.
No, he's being sarcastic. He's being
pretty funny. That's pretty
funny. Then the rest of these we did talk about. It makes sense. It Takes Two is in the S tier. It is a great game. I had a different criteria for S tier for me, which was that like I wanted to recommend it to everybody I speak to. And God of War 2018 also makes a lot of sense. I've heard nothing but great things about that game.
It's incredible.
Even if it has received the same treatment as Bioshock for me, which is that it is in its plastic wrapping over on the bookshelf over there. Because I got it as a Christmas present from my uncle and didn't play it.
Do you own a PS4?
Yes, I own a PS4.
Oh,
That's what I played Persona on.
Oh, true.
And then I'm surprised Split Fiction is in A. I thought Split Fiction was a bit like I've been told Split Fiction's been better than It Takes Two. Or is that not the case?
I suppose it depends on the person, you know.
Mm.
I mean, one of them won Game of the Year, and the other one wasn't even nominated. So
true. I think the problem is who he's playing with, bruh. That's a jab at yourself. For reference, Ticker's played It Takes Two with me, but is playing Split Fiction with D-Tops.
Ah, I see. So you're the problem.
No, It Takes Two.
Oh no, you're not the problem. Actually, you're the solution.
D-Tops is claiming he's the problem.
Oh, that's sad.
And then Ender Magnolia, again, really do you want to play that game after seeing you play it, Ticker? And
Ender Magnolia over Ender Lilies makes me excited for Ender Magnolia.
And then TTYD, the remake. Yes.
That's a good game.
I was so happy because you never played the original, so it was cool to hear you actually like give TTYD a first like playthrough and have a lot of fun with it. Constance, I've heard a lot of your thoughts on it, which are like 99% positive, and then 1%, man, this is a bit buggy. I wish they'd taken another month or two to just clean up these bugs.
Hopefully it gets some bug fixes. Oh, they are? Yeah. Beautiful. In that case, I might. That's been on my wish list since I tried the demo at the last Steam Next Fest. I thought it looked pretty good, but yeah, I might just wait until the bug fixes come out then.
Yeah, I'll probably be the same with Constance. I liked the demo, but I probably don't want to get it if it's a bit buggy at the moment.
Maybe I can play Hollow Knight in the meantime.
Yes! Stream it to VC.
I can't stream my Switch.
Oh, yeah, true. You don't have capture card.
I mean, I own it on Steam, but...
Yeah, but you got a Steam
as well.
It would run on a laptop. It runs on my laptop.
I'm not going to have any problems running Hollow Knight on my laptop. Yeah, that's fine.
Then Ticker has got 2 Star Wars games back to back: Star Wars Jedi Survivor and Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. If Ajani was here, he would he would be talking a lot of things about both of those games, mostly positive, I think. But
Yeah, see, that's why I got to play Hollow Knight first before Silksong. Because if I play Silksong first and then go to Hollow Knight, then
yeah, no, Aura has not played either game.
be set down.
That's why I'm saying play the original 2 MD tops. And then Ender Lilies right after that as well to wrap up the tier. Ender Lilies was the first game, right? Or was it the second game?
Ender Lilies is the first game.
Okay, yeah.
Ender Magnolia was the one that released earlier this year. Yeah, Ender Lilies 1 I really liked. The had a bit less mobility at the start than I usually like in Metroidvanias, but it sort of expanded a bit. And I really liked the way they like the summons and the way they handled weapons as being kind of summons themselves. And the vibes were immaculate.
Damn it. I don't know when I'm going to play all these games. Especially.
Also, yeah, Ticker. Is there much of a gap between Fallen Order and Survivor, or is it just kind of like sort of similar vibes? Like,
because yeah, unfortunately, I don't think any of us have played the Star Wars games.
I've been meaning to try them out. Interesting. But yeah, it's like I'm always interested in Star Wars games that, especially around that, like between prequel trilogy and original trilogy, sort of like where the Empire's at its peak. I think it's an interesting time in Star Wars.
And then now we get on to the C tier. Legends EA to start the C tier. But that is the enjoyable but flawed category, which would make a lot of sense based on things you said earlier, Aura, from your
experience. Yeah, ZA is very enjoyable but flawed.
Titans of the Tide, that's the new SpongeBob game. I haven't actually even seen the trailer for that yet, but apparently it builds off of Cosmic Shake a lot, which is a good thing because Cosmic Shake was sort of like a revitalization of good old school, like early 2000s platforming games, which was, again, a nice callback to BFBB.
Speaking of BFBB, sorry.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Then it's Turnip Boy. Titans of the Tide simply does not do. Okay, it doesn't do too much.
That's
yeah. That's a shame. But I guess it's still a positive thing. At least it's better than what other companies did with beloved licensed franchises. Cough, cough, the franchise that this song is from. Cough, cough, mobile house building simulator that stayed around 12 years after that sort of game died out in popularity.
What are you talking about? They're only just recently added to Fortnite.
And they just killed that. They just killed Tapped Out for good, finally.
Oh, that mobile house building simulator.
Yep. I am hoping for good Simpsons games in the future now that Tapped Out is dead.
A hostile change of ownership will, maybe we can get some good out of this.
Yeah. Turnip Boy commits tax evasion. It makes sense. From what it seems like, it's a very small scale game. Probably quite enjoyable, but not like something incredible that's going to be like a defining experience for the year or whatever.
Yeah, it's a very C tier kind of game. Very, very like it's fine. It's short, which helps as well. I think if it was much longer, I think it would
overstay its welcome potentially.
Yeah, for me at least.
And then Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe. I don't know about that game actually. I don't know much about it. I know
I'm not gonna lie. I thought this was Star Allies.
Yeah, that was the thing. Like, I know of Star Allies and I know of the Forgotten Land, but I've
So
never heard of this one.
yeah, this is the remake of the Wii Kirby game,
Oh,
Kirby's Return to Dreamland, or Kirby Return to Dreamland, and like the gimmick behind that was that it was like 4-player.
oh, well,
So
like Star Allies.
yes, except uh, like people liked it more.
Wait, was this the one that got played at that old club?
Ooh.
Because I played one
Yes,
of
yes,
them.
it was. Yes, we played it. Yes, we
Oh,
played it.
okay, yes, then I do know this one. Okay, yeah. Yeah, this game I can see is just being like fine and serviceable.
It was like February or something. So it was like because it was after the Switch 2 had been announced, and thus it kind of just like got ignored a little bit.
Hmm.
This is the one with Magalore, if you're familiar with
No,
that one.
I've played one Kirby game and it's Forgotten Land.
It's fun. It has playable bandana D, and thus it's deserves praise for that alone. But yeah, certainly ain't no Forgotten Land.
Yeah. And then the D tier. Rehydrated makes sense. I don't know what it is about Rehydrated, but it just feels slower and different than the original. It is the better way to play it if you're trying to just pick up the game and see what the hype was about BFBB back in the day. But if you've got any sort of ability to get an old school console and boot up the original BFBB, it's probably the superior experience. It was a nice way for the devs at THQ Nordic to dip into like SpongeBob platforming games though, because it seems like they've made some additional better games or like more fun games after that.
In a weird way, it's sort of similar to Deltarune Chapter 3, Chapter 4, where like it seems like Rehydrated walked so that Cosmic Shake and Titans of the Tide could like
Jog.
not run, but yes, yeah, leisurely jog.
And then Greece, you spoke a little bit about it already, that it makes sense based on the D tier description, acceptable but wouldn't play it again, in that it seems like a very fine, great game, but it's got limited to no replayability.
Yeah, that's fair. It like Gree to me feels almost like a playable art, like museum exhibit, like an art gallery thing, rather than like a traditional game, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I 100% agree. But I do replay that game just to experience the art again and again because it's very solid in that term with its art and its music.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. It's like art is subjective, and thus I think different people are going to resonate with it in different ways.
Yeah.
Maybe more so than games that are more mechanically focused. Like everyone like Silksong's aesthetic is fantastic, but also because the gameplay is such a large factor of that game, that's something that like that's sort of a grand unifier that like a lot of people enjoy that kind of gameplay and kind of resonate with. Whereas Gree, you're in for the vibes, really. Yeah, Gree good. It seems like you're sort of similar to me, Tika, where like, yeah, my one DT game is like, it's still a good game. It's still a good game. It's just not one that, if anything, your DT is better than my DT, where I really didn't even resonate with it. But yeah, I mean, if something was a truly bad game, I probably just wouldn't finish it, unless it's for the bit. Spider Fox looks scary. I still can't unsee Spider Fox. I'm going to see that in my dreams tonight. I don't know how to feel about that. So, quote unquote dreams. What a good year for games.
Yeah. Sorry,
God.
I was banning a malicious thing that joined my
Next year's
server.
gonna be
That's it.
Next year's going to be so good, though.
Next year's horrifying. Oh my god.
Well, the fact that we've now got Deltarune and Silksong already announced for expansions in next year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just Deltarune 2, Silksong 2,
And that doesn't
Mario
even
Kart World's probably gonna get DLC.
and then that doesn't even
Mutant.
include the games that are expected to come out. So like Mio, Mina,
Grand
Hollowa.
Theft Auto
And yeah.
6.
Oh, that's not coming out next year. It'll get delayed again.
It'll probably play again.
Please.
So someone
Um,
take it in Fantasy Critic. I hope it
Please.
gets delayed again.
Oh, the other fantasy critic I'm in started drafting yesterday, and there was a big discussion about with like big talk about, oh wait, do I take GGA 6? Do I not? I'm really glad they ended up picking GGA 6 because it means I didn't have to have the exact same dilemma.
Control Resonant as well, apparently. Oh, that was the game that got announced the other day at the Game Awards, right?
Ooh, that one does look pretty good.
There's also that Badger game that got announced, which looks really interesting.
I got a couple of small indies I'm looking forward to at the start of the year. Lost and Found Co. is a adorable looking like Where's Wally kind of game that I really liked the demo for, and that's coming out in Feb. Mina the Hollow is probably next year. And that demo is also fantastic. And also apparently Yacht Club's fate is riding on it succeeding, so I really hope it succeeds because
Blighted's also coming out next year, and I liked the look of that trailer. Do you want to try? I think they've got a demo. No, they don't have a demo.
in Pokemon Gen 10, if the rumors are true, might be like seems like it could be a fairly substantial thing. It's 30th anniversary of the series as well, so
Oh no, sorry, I was thinking of Into the Unwell, but that's not announced for 2026. Damn.
gotcha. I started taking a list of all of the stuff coming out next year for fantasy critic purposes.
That'll be interesting. I won't have quite the same advantage as I had last year, which was like entering in at February and a bunch of great games having release dates and just bidding on them.
Yep. Tome. Oh yeah, that's right. Tome 2's coming out next year. Apparently,
Oh,
that's one for Rob. And Invincible. I'm really excited for Invincible Versus.
Wait, which
I
game is
really
it?
like Tome 2,
Oh, yes. Very good.
but also Invincible Versus because I know we've got friends that like Invincible, and
So
I really like.
I did not know there was an Invincible fighting game coming out.
Yeah, it's made by a bunch of the guys that worked on the 2010s Killer Instinct, which I really like. So I'm hoping there's a bunch of shared DNA with. I got high hopes.
Rhythm Heaven Groove.
Rhythm Heaven Groove. The 12 months of the rhythm game has truly begun this month. We had 3 really solid indie rhythm games come out in the span of like a week, and Rhythm Heaven Fever next year. Not Fever. Groove.
But also, 2026 is also an opportunity to catch up on games from 2025.
Yep, that's true. That's
Yeah.
always true.
Thank you for the Rhythm Heaven talk.
Rhythm Heaven. I'm really excited for Rhythm Heaven. It's that, presuming it's the usual team, like they still have it. The Switch WarioWares have been pretty good. They've had a bit of a break from Rhythm Heaven, but they're still making some real cool creative stuff, and regardless of the form it takes, it usually turns out pretty good.
Rob.
What did I do?
I just saw your post in Cleveland.
Oh, yeah. I fell to my knees.
But honestly,
You're right.
this has been a lot of fun tonight. Thank you, Aura, for
Good.
joining me for this, and for Rob for jumping in at the end.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for having me. It's been good.
It's been fun talking about all the games from this year.
So many games. Games are so good, guys.
A
Yeah.
good wrap up to the
Play
year.
some
Yeah.
good games. Play some bad games. Play all games.
Yeah.
All games are good.
They're
Some
all an
games are better than
experience.
others, though, and that's why we make tier lists.
Yeah.
And then Detox can be happy because next year we'll have Expedition 33 to add.
Exactly. Probably. We'll see.
We'll see.
I hope people have found something new that they resonate with, and
wishlist those games. Steam
Yeah.
sale is coming.
Steam sale in 2 days. Apparently, that's horrifying. I haven't financially recovered from the past Steam sale.
I need to. I still need to figure out what I'm going to try and snap up in the next Steam sale. I got to give Ponder his presents as well for the wins. So
I mean, we don't know
those
what's on
games
sale
can
yet, so
Can't wait. I'm gonna give everyone so many games. Oh my god, it's gonna be so good.
But yes, I hope everybody has a great night. I don't know when I'll stream next, but there's a chance it might actually be in 2026.
we shall see.
Hopefully things can settle IRL and I can start regularly streaming again. But we will have to see.
Indeed.
Bye-bye, everyone.
A Merry Christmas to all. And to
Merry
all a good
holidays,
night.
y'all.
And happy